Good morning and welcome to Moama Bowls Club for Champion Estate Pennant midweek. I'm Jimmy Whitehead and I am delighted to welcome into the commentary booth the Mayor of Swan Hill, the kangaroo caller himself, Mr. Joshy Thornton. How are you, buddy?
Good, Jimmy. I haven't been to a few streams lately, so it's good to get back on and join you. I did notice there was a couple people commenting on the kangaroo yesterday during the streams yesterday when I was working from home. And yeah, look, I don't think I'm ever going to let that one down. And look, I'm glad to be back here calling it. I don't think I'll misguide or mispronounce anything today. Let's hope. Touch wood.
He should be all right for animals under this roof, mate. Fingers crossed, anyway. Fingers crossed. So here we are, Gisborne, Kerang, 2 wins apiece, both gunning to get to the top of this section to get through to the final. I know Gisborne pretty well, as do you, but you know Kerang very well, coming from your Mallee region. Tell us a bit more about them, mate.
Yeah, look, they were really good winners of our region pennant finals. They've got some really good bowlers play for their club. They've got Kevin Teasdale, who's obviously skipping this live stream. Rink is being one of Kerang's best bowlers for many, many years now. And whilst I'm only new to the area, that's the word that gets around, you know. And they're probably the biggest club down in the Northern District playing area, you know. So they should be quite competitive. And just looking at this section, Jimmy, you know, after 3 games, 3 teams are on 2 and 1 and 3 teams are on 1 and 2. It's anybody's section, you know. And it's what's going to make it a very telling match, this one, because whoever gets the win, it's going to make a huge difference in terms of where they're going to finish at the end of the day.
Yeah, so the leads going off here are Russell A. Walker, OAM, against Barry Theobald is the lead for Kerang. Barry with the arm and Russell with these orange bowls. The seconds are Ian Ball for Gisborne and Chelsea Fisher for Kerang. Terry Kelly's the third for Gippsland. You'll see him standing next to Ethan.
Gisborne, not Gippsland. Come on, mate. This is like me calling
Sandgate.
Sandgate.
For Gisborne. Terry Kelly, we've seen him before, mate. He's all right, Terry. He's a good player. He's a good bloke too.
Heavily involved in administration there in the Central Highlands. Yes.
And Lindsay Hein. He's the third for Kerang. And then we've got Ethan Higgins and Kevin Teasdale as the skips. Yep. I've been butchering names since early Saturday morning, mate, so however I pronounce it's probably wrong anyway.
You've never been great on the language and the pronunciation.
Rod Brewer from Ocean Grove. I apologise if you are listening, Rod, because I was butchering your name left, right and centre on the weekend. Here you go, straight in with the Sandgate from Sean. He's not letting you rest on your laurels there, man.
He's the one yesterday I looked at and he was mentioning the kangaroos and going, do I even know Sean? But he hasn't forgotten about me, I know that. So it was a blooper and a half, so not a bad starter here by Chelsea.
Yeah, just drifting. Yep. So green's playing pretty even. Big Kev reckons this is the best rink in the whole venue when we were sort of sorting out the live streaming.
I noticed it's different to when we played region sides here. And yeah, a bit further in. I know I had the luxury or the unluxury, I guess it depends how you look at it, of playing in the live stream rink there in region sides, and it was quite a tricky hand to play this ditch side. So I'm rapt that it's moved in a rink because it looks like you're going to get some really good bowls. Yeah,
I think we used 8 rinks for that event. Obviously, 16 regions as opposed to 12 here, and men and women and that as well. So huge event. Got the luxury of pushing in here. Morning, Jay. No, we didn't do the schedule for until last night, probably about 9:30 over a bottle of lemonade. Look, we could have streamed any of the games from this section this morning. Gisborne and Kerang are both on 2 wins. I know Traralgon are also on 2 wins, but I made him a deal this morning with Chris Ward. He said, come on, I'm not on the stream. I said, I'll make you a deal, Chris. You win your 2 games today and you make the final. We'll definitely stream you in the final. I'll even make sure your rink's on the on the live stream. They're on the green next to us, Traralgon. They're playing against, who are they playing against? Eaglehawk. So I'll keep you updated with the scores from there. I can probably just about make their scoreboard out if I stand up. JT won't be able to. He's a good foot shorter than me. So I'll do the standing up and checking of the scoreboards this morning. And next to us, we've got another cracker of a game, as is every game in this section. Lakes Entrance against Kringle. Both of them on 1 wins. Lakes Entrance, mate, had a ridiculous game yesterday. I walked up to check the scores. They were 14 all. I went back an hour later, and they were 50-16. It was a hell of a game. So they've put themselves back in contention. So there'll be a winner and loser from that one this morning, unless there's a draw. But one will not be making the final and one will be gunning for it.
Yep, absolutely.
It's a fair ball by Lindsay there.
Yeah, it's the head is set up really nicely at the moment. You know, there's chances of Bit of disturbance here.
You can see what Ethan's calling. Or we can see what Ethan's calling. Camera's on Terry, but sort of that 2-3 feet weight on the backhand.
And Ethan's a reasonably positive and aggressive player. You know, doesn't mind letting his team and himself play with a bit of weight and give itself chances. So
close. Got a drop. Ooh. Possibly gives a shot away there. Possibly. Yeah, Kevin's got his finger raised.
Whilst they got shot, I'd be, the way the head's set up, there's a bit of vulnerability there for Kerang. But they have 2 or 3 bowls, 2 feet behind the head. It wouldn't hurt them to be just arriving and try and get that jack out of the danger zone and take him to their own bowls.
Player of Ethan's class, he's going to look at that blue shot bowl of Kerang, and he's going to think he can probably remove that sort of, where's this going to end up? Not quite in the line.
No.
Ethan will be reaching up for sure. So across the other rinks on this, we've got Ethan's old man, Alan Higgins, playing next door. He's got a bit of a star-studded rink. He's got Peter Williams, the RBM for the Bendigo, Campaspe Goldfields region, probably a couple of other clubs from elsewhere. Ballarat Highlands, and he picks up a few of them. He's playing next door, and he's also got Timmy Rogers in his rink as well. I was
going to say, Timmy Rogers is a very good bowler himself.
Good bloke as well. Brought me some hand warmers yesterday when I was struggling.
And the skipper for Kerang in that one is a lady by the name of Som Pascoe. And Som made our region state singles final up there. Yeah, that's wrong on the score. We'll fix that up. Yeah, they've obviously made some changes this morning, but Som is an enigmatic player. Yeah, that's the way you spell it. She draws well, but she doesn't mind having a crack too. If she gets down, she'll just let it rip early, So,
mate, she's already had a crack at me this morning. She's not on the live stream. She comes straight up to me. She's like, hey. No, she's a nice lady. Right, Ethan just overcooking that one slightly.
On the third rink, we have Gary Candy's rink playing Helen McBain. So, and I know Helen McBain's Sir Trevor Pocock has won a lot of titles over the years at Kerang and in the region as well. So,
well, Gary Candy by all counts can bowl. He's a real nice bloke. I was having a good chat with him last night after the trivia we had. We had a great function last night. And I know he's got some mates out there. I had Andy McDonald messaging me on the sides. Hey, I'll put Gary Candy on. Yeah, look, we could have streamed any of these rinks, is what I said back to him. That Alan Rogers rink's pretty stacked. Ethan's just real fun to watch. I always enjoy watching him play, even though he takes 4 hours.
I was going to say, have you seen much of him, and how long has he taken to put his bowl down this trip, So he's very excitable.
Here he goes. Forrest, as they call him.
It's going to just hang on him.
It's Terry's. He was trying to possibly clip the outside of that as well. I think Kevin will not be too concerned at not getting a second here. He'll take the one and run.
Yeah. As I said, there could have been a shot to play to take away the danger, but I think he'd be just drawing, and if he happens to just get there, so be it.
So there's a good ball going down on the Lakes entrance Keringal game. Lakes goes up and about. Ethan. What was he doing?
He looked like a kangaroo then jumping across the green.
It's all over the shop. They've tried to simplify it today for you coming, JT. We've had our scoreboard different to the scoreboards that the players operate every game so far. But we knew you were coming, so we said, right, we're going to keep it the same way because we don't want to confuse you. So thankfully, Ballarat, the Gisborne side, are on the top on the players' scoreboards too.
Or was it a bugger up from you guys yesterday?
No. They just look. We've been commentating a while. Meantime, we should like to challenge ourselves as we're doing it, just to keep the brain ticking over.
I must admit, I tuned in at different times over the weekend with the weekend pennant, and I'm pretty sure there was a scenario between Ocean Grove and Melbourne where one score was something on your scoreboard, but it was totally the opposite on the actual scoreboard there with Brad Pavey and Sperry, wasn't it?
I had to walk over and I said to them, is this right? Because it changed so quickly. I said, is your scoreboard right? And they said yes, because there was no noise from over there. Like, there was nothing. There was no noise. I later found out after the game that Brad Pavey picked up a 7. So you would expect to hear noise, eh? In a team like Ocean Grove as well. I heard nothing.
Yeah.
So, and that's I was dumbfounded by it.
And for those watching at home, in Section B today, we've obviously got Bundoora sitting on top. They're undefeated. They were one of our live stream matches yesterday. The competition's probably coming from either Tatura Hilltop or City of Geelong, who are both sitting on 2 wins. And I would find it hard to believe that our Portland, Horsham or Wangaratta can... Well, definitely Wangaratta can't because they haven't won a game yet. But... yeah, I can't see Portland and Horsham sort of bridging any gaps there either, you know. So it's coming out of those 3 teams with, I would say at this stage, Bundoora looking the likely winner out of that section.
Yeah, I mean, they are playing City of Geelong first up this morning. And then City of Geelong do play Tatura later across lunch. That'll be our live stream game, actually. So you feel if Bundoora get the win here, that will be that?
Just about. If you look at... oh, yeah, shot differential. It's quite significant, you know. So even if they happen to lose the last one, it'd have to be a lot if they get this first win.
So Russell Walker just overplaying that one. Alan Higgins and his crew pick up a 3 next door. Bundoora also looking for the double, JT. They won the trivia last night. The guys on table 8. The Hornets had a bit of a ringing. Jodie Neville came in for the second round and absolutely dominated by all accounts. She's a quizmaster herself, so I'm not surprised.
Good lead bowl here by Russell Walker.
Yeah, I'll be relatively happy with them.
Yeah.
Ethan, that sort of attacking skip, as you mentioned, anything behind's good for him. Kevin saying they're up and down for shot, but no one's really owning this head, so Chelsea with an opportunity to draw in and take the shot. No big Kev today here at Moama, JT. He's on the trek up to the BPL.
I was going to say, has he already nicked off to Brisbane?
He's doing 1 night in Brisbane, and then he's flying back home to Scotland for a couple of weeks, I think.
Ah, there you go.
It was cheaper to fly via Brisbane, stay in Brisbane, have a night at the BPL, and then fly to Scotland than it was to fly direct from Melbourne. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, well, with my little journey the last couple of weeks, logistical stuff, yeah, you wouldn't be confident in anything. As you know, Jimmy, our crew didn't have their luggage for 4 days over in England, so...
Carnage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Ian Ball drawing the shot with his spliced Henselite XGs.
When I was RBM in the North East Victoria, and obviously we talked about Peter Williams before being the RBM and playing out of Gisborne.
Chelsea.
Ian Ball was pretty sure treasurer at Gisborne at the time.
Cool. Yeah. Yep. They're a good administered club, Gisborne. I met a lot of them when I used to work at Sunbury. They come down the road, play under the undercover down there. They're just a bunch of good people. Teresa Wiley, she's playing a couple of rinks down. She's a little firecracker as well. She's good fun. It's going good again. Here is Ian, mate. He's found a good home.
And the way the head's set up there at the moment is really good for Gisborne because they can afford to draw positively. If they get a bit of jack movement, they'll make 3 or 4. So,
sure will. I'm sure Terry and Ian will be lining that up. See your mate Kane Wilson in the background there, mate.
Yeah, who's just recently been named to represent Victoria in our upcoming under-18 Test series against Tasmania in July. So,
good bowl, that.
Yeah, very good bowl. Kane got his debut last year in that same series over in Tasmania, and he's managed to keep his spot. We've got 7 guys and 6 girls playing in that upcoming series in July, and it'll act as a bit of a precursor to our national junior championships, where we'll pick 5 boys and 5 girls for that national championship. So,
right, Terry Kelly, Jack's good. Sit the last bowler, Lindsay, who came inside out to get rid of Ian's yellow and grey blue slice bowl. Terry's got some pace on this, JT. Just needs to land anything, gets a side at Lindsay's and makes it more tough. It's not the result he wanted. Now he will be chasing Jack, eh?
He's probably marginally quick outside of that.
Quick.
I mean, there's the right intention, you know, sit the bowl, move the jack.
It was definitely quick. So for those who haven't joined us so far across the weekend and this week for midweek Pennant, this is 15 end per rink game, 2.5 hour time limits. We've probably lost a couple of ends, and the the final game of weekend Pennant before the finals in Ocean Grove and Melbourne. There was a considerable amount of dead ends, though. A lot of slow players. It was a winner-takes-all game.
That's actually a good spot there by Lindsay. I mean, you can't cover everything directly behind, but he's split 5 of them up there to a point.
So there's a trail on for 4 if Terry can get it. Bit of a super trail. He was a little bit quick with his first, so he's going to probably want to rein that one back in a tad.
He's looking up close.
Yeah, he's just hang a little bit. Terry Kelly gets the jack back. Gets stiff, he doesn't go through with it. Gets collected by the blow.
2 according to Ethan.
But has made a couple with the orange bowls, I'm going to presume, or maybe one of the orange, one of the white.
Talking about Kane, it's actually his auntie here in this rink, Chelsea, that's playing second.
His mum bowl as well?
I haven't seen Christy bowl, but definitely family connection there. Kane's dad's one of probably the best leaders getting around the region. He played leading our region side there back in April.
Yeah,
here,
cool.
So definitely family connection with the Kerang Bowling Club.
He may be able to bowl, but he's no good at trivia, old Kane. He was asking me loads of questions last night, and I've seen his answers, and I'm like, I'd change that one.
I was talking to Mel, and she goes, she probably should have made a bit more questions and a bit more younger demographic for Kane, but it is what it is.
He was the outlier in our demographic last night at the function. That's a fair effort by Kevin. Just going to drift through. And he wants to drop a couple of feet, and he'll grab the shot. Gisborne, a couple of 2s over on the Gary Candy rink. Just kick us off. So they're 4 zip up after 2 ends now. Motoring ahead over there. Looks like Kerang on the board next door. I'll wait to see on the Son Pasco rink how many she picked up. Ethan's after this one. He's the hurry.
It's probably not the worst spot because it's going to take Kev's shot away a little bit. It might actually force Kev to potentially change it up. You know, he might decide to go forehand and run through the bowls, or he's going to back himself to dead draw on the backhand.
Pretty aggressive skip, or?
I probably haven't played enough against him to actually justify that with a reasonable answer, Jimmy. But
he's pondering here.
He's just got to be either side of Ethan's last bowl.
He's right up the behind of it.
Yeah, which is where I thought might have been the trouble for him.
So I reckon 3 to Gisborne here.
I would suggest so, based off the 2 on the crossover and Ethan's other one there.
He's going to come forehand, I think. Yep.
The only thing he doesn't want to do is happen to be high and long and actually flick the blue bowl of Kerang, Lindsay's bowl, sideways, because that actually could turn him for shot.
He'd be ropeable.
There you go, Rowdy, who's obviously a Murray Mallee person on our stream today.
That's Terry's.
He nearly did exactly what I said he didn't want to do.
He's probably made a 4 there, we think. But he flirted with danger for a brief second, did Ethan there. There was the blue bowl of Lindsay Haynes that he could have kicked over as well. Talking of RBMs, Rowdy, the RBM up for that area. Call me tomorrow, Rowdy, because I'll forget otherwise. I don't know if you've been hearing my baby brain stories, mate. I am struggling at the moment.
I've got to talk to Rowdy too, so he knows I was at a meeting last night, and I've got to give him an update on that as well. So that'll be tomorrow, Rowdy.
Just the 2 for Ethan. Just the 2. So his call earlier was not spot on. Swanee, get back to work, mate. Sitting behind us, he's sitting right behind us. He's been the president of the bowl section here at Moama. Has done a terrific job. Running around, been doing everything, mate. I've seen him serving food, emptying bins, high-fiving people.
Well, I've been here 5 minutes and he got me a coffee and I was impressed. So I
discussing shampoo with Tony Chavello. Like it's all. It's been everywhere. Yeah. Ethan Forrest Higgins is running everywhere. He doesn't get anywhere. The only thing he does slowly is deliver a bowl. Everything else, he's at full speed.
I'd be interested to know whether he gets any sweaty hand situation like we've seen.
I'll never forgive him for that. I like Ethan. I'm good mates with him. But I'll never forgive him for about 11:15 at night at the
Warrnambool
COVID-affected state championships, where we had every single event being played in about a 6-day period. At 11:15 at night against Nathan Murray in the singles, taking about 4 minutes per bowl.
Yep.
All I wanted to do was get back into my bed, or get into my bed. But no, he's a good kid. He's a good bowler. He's obviously, everyone's got their own idiosyncrasies with the deliveries. Son Pascoe picked on one up next door on her second rink.
I'd argue he's hammered up a bit. I've only got 3 fingers, Jimmy, and I can get the bowl away fine without wiping my hands that many times. So
that's a fair reply to Russell's lead bowl by Barry Theobald there. Who did Kerang knock off on their way to this region title, JT?
So the team that they actually really pushed him, and it could have went either way at the end, they actually started really slowly, was Swanhill Racecourse, which is the team from the playing area where I'm based out of. They got a bit of a slow start, Racecourse, and come back really, really late. And Kerang got the nod. And as it turns out there, though, in the very last game, like Racecourse won their second game by nearly 50, 60 shots, and they were winning their last one by the same. Kerang was getting really close with, just trying to remember who I think it was a Sunraysia team. Mm-hmm. And if they'd happened to somehow lose that, Swanhill would have overtaken them, but they settled and composed themselves and got the 3 wins for the day.
Good stuff. Barry's close to clipping his own in here. Oh, he clips the other one in instead.
Still not a bad setup there, because it can probably force Kerang onto the forehand, and if they land that purple bowl, it'll punch the orange bowl out. So
the orange will flick away at the back. Quite see the far. No, Timmy Rogers gone down. So another one. No more on the scoreboard. Sorry for Gary Candy. I've already put the second end on.
Good bowl here.
Fair bowl by Ian. It's going to sit right on top of that jack. Oh.
Still options there on the forehand. Look to land the purple, get the split. Could actually force both of them out of the head.
Now, you're an aero man.
Yep.
Having watched quite a few arrows, I don't know if it's this particular surface or not, they tend to fall against the bias a fair bit. You notice that with your bowls? They kind of, like, how...
No, I actually probably didn't recall that, but...
Honestly, it's been, for me, noticeable anyway. It's weird.
All right, I'll have a look and see what happens. But, I mean, I'm just trying to think when I've been here, obviously, a few times for BPL, and I don't recall being a common theme or, trend, so...
But watch this. There you go. Bang. Arrow against the bar straight away.
You trying to rubbish the brand, mate?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm questioning it. And it's not just Arrow, actually. Curtis Hanley, I've obviously played a fair bit with him at Melbourne, and he's got Drake's Pride, and they do the same. And he's always commenting on it. He's like, why are they doing this? I don't think there's any rhyme or reason. I don't think it means good or bad. It just... great weight control again by Ian. He just found his line. I don't know what it means, mate, to be honest. It's just noticeable for me. They seem to go against, which more often than not rolls them away from the jack. Is more my comment, I guess.
I'll wait till I see another manufacturer's bowl fall out, and I'll be India.
There we go. Oh, he's going to get a touch. This isn't cat, but he goes the other way. Was one of the questions in the trivia last night, that was, JT.
What was the question?
And a picture of your good mate Barry Lester holding a bowl, and we blurred the bowl and said, what brand of bowls does this bloke use?
How'd they all go?
Someone put Pensolite Blood XG. I won't
he wouldn't be happy, I know that.
I won't dob him in, but they might have. There might be one of these teams on the live stream wearing blue. But yeah, most seem to get Aero. There's some good questions on there, actually. There's some very talented and smart individuals in our bowling fraternity. There's also some not so talented individuals in our bowls fraternity. Having said that, I was glad I was asking the questions at the trivia, because I had no clue at about 80% of them. I couldn't even pronounce some of the words in them.
I consider myself a bit of a trivia buff, Jimmy, as you know.
Here's the hardest one I can actually remember off the top of my head.
Okay, here we go.
What was the name of the Aztec leader? No, what was the name of the Aztecs? I don't even know the question.
So you can't even ask the question.
Something during the Spanish conquest. Yeah, what was the name? What was the name of the Aztec leader during the Spanish conquest or something like that?
Right. Okay. No, I don't know that one.
There you go. Another one that sticks in my mind: Presbyterian is an anagram of which female singer?
Presbyterian.
Oh, Brad! Come on, he was even with about 1 second. Our Brad, our technician, he brings another Gisborne bowl in there. Does Terry?
I like it. I would have got there. Was Brad there last night?
No, Brad wasn't there last night. I'm glad he wasn't based on that. It ruined it for everyone. It's too smart.
Look, there's still options here for Kerang. I mean, Gisborne's holding 2, but if they can get the yellow up or get the split on the purple, but probably being wide is not going to help them. They're better off being tight in that scenario.
If only they could extricate that sort of purpley bowl, Gisborne would have a handful here. It's pretty tough to get, though. Maybe you can get to the yellow or the orange and get it across and just kick it, roll it down, knock it over.
I reckon what Ethan's going to do is try and take the shot away and actually gum down on the back end, land the orange bowl that's sort of sitting up against their yellow and black bowl, and it'll get onto the jack. And if he can move it a foot, probably takes all the danger away. So I reckon that's what he's going to try and play.
He'd be pretty close. So, it was, I don't know if he's updated the ends. I think Son Pasco's picked another one up. The ends don't quite correlate, but I'm going to make an executive decision and say they just forgot to put the ends on. Yeah, maybe it is the surface, Andy. I don't know. It's just been noticeable for me for whatever reason. He's a bit narrow here, is Ethan. It's funny in Crown Green, you're not allowed to get that close to your bowl. You're allowed to chase your bowl, but you can't be within sort of 1.5 meters of your actual bowl.
Why is that?
They do a lot of stamping of bowls there. Like they'll stamp the bowl in, and they deliberately put this. You need to be X amount of space away from it to stop you stamping and affecting the bowl. You got to think there's a lot of undulations on them greens. If you can just get it to the top of a hill and you just want it to come down the other side, fair effort by Kevin there. We're going to have to get old...
it is the inferior game, so I understand the inferior rules around Jimmy, you know, so...
But, yeah, like if you want to just get it over or just to reach the next one and you stamp it, you could have that little effect, so they put a bit of a rule in. So I always triggers something in my mind when I see Ethan that close to a bowl. He was within a foot of it.
I've seen... talk about Barry Lester. He gets right over it at times. And, yeah... He's basically walking either side of it at something, you know, so...
There's some great ones. My favourite of watching chase a bowl is Dogger Wilson.
I was going to say Dogger.
He beats the bowl, lies down. He calls it in from the a few millimetres off the floor.
I think Kev's last bowl changes the way Ethan potentially approaches the head, because now that roll bowl over, like I suggested beforehand...
He's an on.
Yeah, with the purple bowl being behind, but he might be just trying to dead draw it. And
here he goes again after the bowl. He's extremely wide.
Maybe he's going to cover.
Yeah, well, Terry's clapping him, so that'll be what he was doing. Doing his best, Lindsay, try and get out of the way. You can tell he looked over at us then, so we're all right. He's doing a good job, Lindsay. All right, I had Kevin Teasdale go here. Well, he's not doing a good job now. Get up, buddy, Wake. We'll have to tap him on the shoulder. Under from Kevin. That'll be a couple to the guys from Gisborne. So they'll take a 4-1 lead after 3. Yeah, a little bit of a curl in action. It's all about showmanship. It's good fun. Just a reminder, these two teams locked at 2 wins apiece. Traralgon also at 2 wins, and then everyone else at 1 win in the section. So it's a humdinger. As we see Matty O on our Pancare banner at the bottom. Absolutely dumper bowl. He's known as the biggest dumper in the office. If he ever offers you coaching advice, stay well clear.
I'd be staying clear of Hawthorn Bowling Club, where their greens have got holes all through them now the way he bowls it, from what I heard.
Mate, you want to see the office floor? He sent a few down in the office. There's holes in there. A fair lead by Russell there.
can't think of the gentleman's name, Jimmy. You might remember it, but I still remember the toweling that he gave Maddie at Country Week there.
Old Len. I don't know. It was Len. I can't remember his bowl.
He was 107.
Yeah.
And he absolutely demolished Maddie.
Used one of the really short bowling arms
Correct.
as well.
Yeah.
Taught Maddie a new lesson on that magnificent Bendigo East.
So much so
grade.
that Maddie had to start driving bare jacks.
Oh, what a day. Oh, bit of a short one there. So Russell gets a chance to double up, improve on his first.
This is probably where, in this particular rink, Gisborne's gaining a bit of ascendancy. Their front two are actually bowling exceptionally well, and they're setting their heads up really well.
Yeah, it makes such a difference. Give it another 5 minutes or so, and I'll take a trot up the rinks and get some scores from around the other games that are happening.
You know, when you leave me alone, Jimmy, is when I say me stupid stuff, so don't be gone too long, you know, so...
I'll send someone in to babysit you. I can see next door. Well, I can't now, actually. The bloke's just walked in the way. I think it's about 7-2 really early, the way of Lake's entrance over Kooringal. Bosh. Is that the worst feeling as a lead? Where you drop one short and then you plough into it with your second?
Yep.
Yeah,
I reckon everybody's done it.
Oh, mate. Some more than often. Barry will just want to forget that one. Oh, Ian Ball, who's bowled pretty well so far this morning. Catches the inside of that. He's really good.
Probably one thing is to consider around this particular match, and again, obviously every game is different and is treated on its merits, but Gisborne probably play on the exact same surface. They got the exact same style of green. It's outdoors, but they would be playing on this type of carpet all the time, you know, so...
Kerang 2 tiffs, I'm presuming. 3 tiffs? 2 tiffs?
Kerang, 3 tiffies, probably nearly the best tiffies in the Murray Mallee, they keep saying. So
I do remember you saying that to me. I've only drove past Kerang. I've drove through it on the way to visit you in...
God's country.
Yeah, but I didn't stop in Kerang, but I drove past. I might actually message my best mate. I was just thinking then, his partner, I think it's her uncle, bowls for Kerang. I think his name's Russell Jackson. Does anyone know Russell Jackson from Kerang?
I don't.
You're right, mate. The Gisborne front end are dominating again on this end.
It's probably nearly their worst head so far, but they're still probably holding 2 or 3 here, and it's probably Kerang's loosest, and it's be interesting to see how they can comprehend it.
Well, Andy McDonald told me that Gary Candy could bowl. He's currently 11-0 up after 4 ends.
Some fair end scoring there, early days.
Morning, Marilyn. Another former Crown Green bowlers. A few of us knocking around. David Holt's another. I had a good chat with him about Blackpool and Waterloo and all that fun stuff. It's been a while. My family still play, Marilyn, over in England, still play Crown Green. I think their season's been really affected by COVID the last couple of years, so they're on for their first proper season, which is probably just started already, actually, but it normally starts late April, so there'll be a few rounds in.
Lindsay's a bit tight.
Yeah, he's going to...
He's knocked in another Gisborne bowl in at the moment.
Yeah, having a tough time, this end in particular, the guys from Kerang. I know, I spoke to the guys from Gisborne this morning, they just said, we win 2 today, we're good. That's all they're focusing on.
I love the confidence.
Terry, just...
Yeah, they're probably holding 6 there at the moment.
Lindsay with some work to do.
Yep.
Otherwise, he's going to leave his good mate and skip Kevin in trouble. He's on what I would call the rake.
He's got to clear the first one.
Ooh, that was a Kerang bowl he brought through, JT.
Not sure he could have walked up there and placed it at a better spot.
Kevin Teasdale looks sheepish. He's got.
I reckon Ian Ball's look from Gisborne was even.
He's laughing at us as he walks past as well.
Look, there's still a chance. I know the way Ethan plays, and there's no doubt that he'll be looking for the bowl on the forehand.
Just move Lindsay from the camera. Yeah, smiles about it. Graham Smith from Wangaratta did not like being told to get out of the way of the camera yesterday. I made an executive decision. We won't put him on the live stream again. He bowled pretty well, though. Ethan, bit of weight here. Looking for that yellow. He's got about the next
He's
6.
high.
Yeah.
Oh, unless he gets that.
Oh! Jack's forward. We haven't seen that for a long time.
I reckon they got one out of that.
Terry just straight away gives a measure signal, like he's umpiring in the BPL.
You can see some different results on the carpet in terms of getting off bowls and.
Lindsay just remembering his bums on live camera.
Good chances he's for Kev. He's got that purple bowl on the run in and just drawing underneath. He even trails it to himself.
Which he's going to do. Yeah, good bowl by Kevin Teasdale. That's a good bowl. You think Ethan will have a run at that? You can see
I reckon.
Just see the jack.
Yep. And if he wanted to, he could play swingy backhand and try and get the bowls too, you know, which is, I reckon, is what he's looking at.
I think that's the high percentage shot for sure. That swinging backhand, try and just land into that yellow and grey bowl, sit him out and hold a few, because he's probably got 1, 2, 3 or 4 of the next bowls. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Really can pick his own pace here. All right, Ethan. What have you got, buddy? He's in the area, JT. He's definitely in the area. Gets the split on them both.
Oh,
Ethan, top ball. He actually played that with less weight than what I thought he would. I thought he'd try and get him right out of there, but he's played it real well. Thanks to 1 for him and his Rink here. And then Higgins picks a 4 up next door as Gisborne turned the screw in this one early. Catching Kerang cold. Kevin's tight. I'm not going to rule this one out until it's stopped though, based off Lindsay's bowl. 1 to Ethan.
Just got a text message from John Keeley, who is a Kahuna golf bowler, and there is a reasonable great rivalry between Kahuna golf and Kerang. And
right.
He just made the comment that there's probably better greens at Kahuna golf than what there is at Kerang, you know. And I said, yeah, fair call. At the same time, I said, I know of another golf club up that way that's actually got real good greens in Murray Downs, Jimmy, you know, so.
Mate, you want to be nice to Kahuna golf. I threw you under the bus a bit with them guys on a Saturday evening.
Yeah, so I hear.
They're not going to be your biggest fans. They came in and said, where are we sitting? I said, table 23, 24. Where's that? Right at the back. Right at the back. Why you put us right at the back? I said, Josh Thornton said to put you up there. Oh, yeah, that'll be wrong.
Was it right that Jared Hammond didn't play on the weekend?
Yeah, as we called him, said, yeah, looking forward to watching him. Yeah, he had COVID, mate.
I did hear that on the grapevine.
Harrison Keaty wasn't well either. He battled through.
Yeah.
I think he subbed out 1 game. Well, they were asking me if they could make a sub.
Well, that's his old man that's texting me, and they're just in the car now on the way down. They're watching the stream on the way down, and he's going to get his knee done. He's had to get his knee done, and so all the best, H.
Yeah,
hope it all comes up well.
I think he had a bit of a virus. Oh, I don't even know. I'm not going to say the word, but I think he had virus. I'm not going to say that. I just think he was a bit under the weather on the weekend.
Another great opening bowl from Russell. As I said, I think this is where Gisborne's gaining the ascendancy in this rink in particular. We do have some live scores coming from the other greens. I'll just get them up. We have Strzelecki 8 playing Bendigo Campaspe Goldfield 16. So that's Traralgon 8 versus Eaglehawk. And then we have City Geelong 16 up on Bundoora at the moment on 11. So it's a couple interesting matches down there, which are very telling in the overall schemes of that section. Morning to Mickey West, who's just joining us on the live stream. Obviously, Mickey is an integral Ocean Grove player who obviously figured prominently in the weekend pennant over here in Moama. Narrowly going down to South Bendigo in the final. Great guy, Mickey West, great bowler. And yes, our Murray-Mallee area regional bowls manager, Rowdy, Stephen Arthur. Tiger Turf is actually going down at their brilliant new facility that's been built at Barham. And so Northern District and Murray-Mallee bowlers will get the chance and exposure to play on a Tiger Turf green soon too. And the other match from down in Section B, Tatura Hilltop 22 are playing Horsham 8. It was a great bowl there by Chelsea at second for Kerang. They needed that. As I said, Russell Walker had played another 2 great leads bowls. Ideally for her, another one into the head, and even if she can turn the bowl or turn the jack to take that shot away would be fantastic. Good finish there. Gives Kerang chances. And the final match from down the other end, Ovens and Murray, which is Wangaratta playing Portland, West Coast. Wangaratta leading 13-7 at this stage. Yeah, Terry Carey's in the area here. Be looking to either sit the bowl or turn the jack. It's awfully close. Great bowl. Still one down to Courtney Ethan, who's lost his chalk top, flying across the green there. It's the thing about playing on these carpets, the jack moves a little further at times than what it would on a grass green. So you have to anticipate that a little bit. As Jimmy joins me, just been given all the scores from the backgrounds, Jimmy.
Yeah, I just saw him come through on the chat from Mel, which is awesome. She obviously doesn't trust you to be left by yourself, so I got to text Harry back to the commentary booth as well.
Yeah, not surprised.
Are the guys from Traralgon going? Did you get that one?
Yes, got that one. Yep, they're just down at the moment.
Yeah, right. Pete Williams filling in for Andy. He's obviously qualified. He's I hope he has.
Protest? We actually had some of those, like at a region pennant final. You know, we played them all at Euston on one weekend, both the weekend and midweek pennant finals, and we had a couple of clubs that, that play only 2 rinks during the season, and we get to region finals. So we had to make some sort of allowances to get, people here that to play that particular event, and obviously there's rules within the sport to allow that, so it does happen sometimes, Jimmy, as you know.
Terry's just nudged his own in for shot by the Ethan's reaction to that there. These camera angles are always a bit funny to call them on.
You missed the shot before where Terry actually trailed the jack and was still down, but he's played 2 good bowls.
Can play, Terry. I met him a few years ago when he came down and played for Caulfield Park. Played against him a couple of times when they were in Premier there, and I've just always got along with him. Always, I've seen him at tournaments, seen him around at things like this, state champs. He's just a good guy, good player. He's been playing at Bow Morris this year on a weekend on a permit down there. Travels down with, I think, his good mate Graham Spencer, who I've heard a rumour is the new coach at Brighton.
You're right. I was thinking, have I got any juicy goss for you, Jimmy? I'm having to think about it for a second.
I didn't want to release a name, but I've heard there's some big shocks coming up in the BA selection for the Com Games.
You're right.
Big Kev is in the loop a little bit via others.
Well, the side's not announced for next week, Jimmy.
I know, but that's what the jungle drums are beating.
Nah, look, they got no idea
No.
until the sides come out next week.
Oh, Ethan, just got to get under that.
Guess that
What
back
a
bowl,
bowl
though.
this is going to be. Doesn't fall against the bias this time.
Yeah, see, I don't know what you're talking about, Jim.
Great effort by Ethan there. He's probably got in for my eye, but see what the players sort of react. Oh, Kevin here.
He's awfully
probably
close. He is awfully close.
Oh, Kevin
What a
Teasdale,
bar.
superb. And you could see Terry and Ethan in the camera shot. They're both applauding that bowl of Kev's as well. So some great sportsmanship there. Kringler pulled it back next door. 11-8 now. Lakes entrance lead after 12 ends overall in that one. I see Bobby Carlson standing in the sun on the end of the rink, trying to keep himself warm.
Smart move.
Miss you. We were talking about this morning. We had a good interaction as Johnny Roberts was playing yesterday on the live stream. Bobby was umpiring and he had to call him in for a line sighter and he got stuck into his good mate Bob. Well, Ethan, what have you done here, mate? If you can clear this. Yeah. Oh.
Definitely
Close.
took the measure out of it anyway, if there was a measure for second. So,
Kevin, can he repeat the dose? Draw a second. It was a crack at the first one, so good to do it again. He's going to need to, though, mate. There's a bit of a mountain to climb for Kerang early here.
he's not far away again.
You skirt that.
If he just had skirted that, I reckon that was coming in for another.
Oh, good bowl by Kev to wrestle one back for Murray Mallee there. 5-2 in this rink after 4. It's the Gary Candy rink doing the damage so far for Gisborne. There's a pretty close head happening over there at the moment, which Gary just doesn't, just probably adds to the side. As I can't really tell who's holding coverage, but holding shot, sorry, but there's a pretty stacked head.
It's a ripping head.
Yeah, Lillian, we can just about make out that Strzelecki Traralgon game against Eaglehawk, so we'll try and keep you updated as we look over there. We've got Mel, who's our marketing and comms manager. She's obviously enjoying herself in the sun on the grass green, so she'll be sending us scores down regularly from the other section. Barry just leaving some room for Russell to double his dose here. Pretty consistent so far, old Russell Walker in this game.
He's been exceptional. He's, as I said, front two have been really good, but he's probably been even the standout of the two.
You can see next door Alan Higgins on Alex Higgins' ring. He's got Timmy Rogers, who's a cracking bowler, playing third, and Peter Williams, we mentioned him before, playing second. And Peter Williams is calling the head for Alan. He's told Alan what shot he wants him to call for Tim, and Al's called what Peter told him to. So
is that just the RBM pool there, you reckon? Oh, look, I'm the RBM, I better tell you what to do,
Chelsea.
Great bowl by Chelsea.
Superb. No, I just... Look, I like it. I mean, it's a policy at Melbourne. Everyone sort of chips in, especially we have so many good back-end players. Mr. Ian Guymer rocks up, BV board.
From the Ballarat Highlands region?
I might get this wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's Romsey.
No, he was always Macedon Rangers when I was at RBM for that area. Now, unless he's moved.
I reckon he's Romsey.
Trying to have some money in this? We have the capabilities of checking this right now, you realise?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm doing it.
Why do I think he's Romsey? Someone else will get to it before you do on the stream anyway.
Nah, they're not that quick.
They are. Chelsea needs to get under. Oh, it just doesn't. So Gary Candy has picked up another 4. So he's got the demolition ball out and he's smashing it all over that Kerang rink over there at the moment. It's 15-0 after 6 ends, sorry. So it's a couple.
Macedon Rangers Bowling Club.
There you go. I didn't even know. I thought Macedon Rangers was the area. I didn't realise it was a bowling club.
It's actually tucked away. It's in a sporting precinct. There's a
cool.
football ground there. Beautiful little town, Macedon Rangers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's a stunning area. All up there, Kyneton, Gisborne. From Gisborne upwards, it's beautiful.
I must say, though, obviously being based in Swan Hill and I have to occasionally come down to head office in Bowls Vic, anytime I'm driving through that area, you can nearly guarantee it'd be sunny, and then you get to that area, it'll rain for 5 or 10 minutes, and then you get past the area again, and, and it's sunny again.
Christine Playman confirming what Bowlslink confirms is Macedon Rangers, and we just confirm that yet again. I don't know everything. I've had a shocker the last few days, mate. As I said, my baby brain, I came up here with 0 work shirts. Went home to pack and brought no work shirts. I'm currently wearing, as I was yesterday, just another version of. It's not the same T-shirt. I was Craft Brewery T-shirt under my BV jacket. So I'm glad it's been cold. Otherwise, I'd be battling.
Don't think I've ever done that.
Oh, mate, I've had a shocker. I drove to Bendigo to drop off a hat to Aaron Tompkins and pick someone up. And I picked someone up and didn't drop the hat off. Just flew out of Bendigo. I was like, oh, yeah, that hat's still in my car.
Yeah, you're going through all what I've been through the last 6 months, Jimmy. Although I don't feel like I made that many mistakes.
Terry brings Russell's forward.
Yeah.
So Chelsea still got shot. They're probably going to want Lindsay to get to this jack first and tuck it behind.
Yeah, need another one in the head.
I've been beating this drum for the last few days, JT. You might be holding one, but sometimes you just need to have a bit of a risk to make it a better one.
Correct.
Or possibly 2.
Totally agree. On this type of surface.
Of course, Terry, who's about to come onto the mat now, and Ethan, who's just told him to go it. You can see he's saying, I don't care if you hit one of these, you're going to give me more of a clear road, which is a pretty good skips call for my mind. Terry's pretty close here, mate.
Nah, it's high, isn't it? No.
Nearly gets the flick over. Probably actually goes real close, but doesn't do what Ethan wanted. He was happy with some of them bowls being hit to come out the way for him and give him more of an open draw at it, but it's okay. I was just about to say Terry, of course, who bowled there, and Ethan, who's skipping, formed half of the 4's final rink from the Ballarat Highlands region. Timmy Rogers joined in for the finals. Big Graham Edwards was unable to play, and they went pretty well to make the final there. Knocked off some good rinks on the way.
I was following from afar, Jimmy.
Coverage made it all the way to England.
Yeah, it was a couple of conversations around breakfast time. You know,
Yeah.
obviously the day's played already been played back home, and
Yeah.
we're sitting around breakfast talking about who won what, and so.
Mate, I had the armchair idea the last few days. It's another good ball by Kevin there, sorry, as we were joking around off mic. I had a ride on Monday. I was sitting next to Tone. Someone brought me a bacon and egg. Someone brought me a coffee, give me a massage on the back of my shoulders. It was great. It's all gone downhill from there, to be honest. And now you've just been brought a coffee and I haven't got one.
That's because I asked for one.
I don't normally need to ask is the point.
I must admit, I must be getting softer because I was starting to feel the cold. I thought I needed something to warm me up.
Yeah, it's got that black ducks. What is the black ducks on the back of Lindsay's jumper? Is
No, it's a Kerang nickname, but I don't know where it stems from. I think you might even find that on the logo itself. It could
Ethan. Oh, does clear one out the way. Gives himself more of a look at it. Probably doesn't need to go as big next bowl. He's got a couple of Gisborne bowls behind to try that jack to.
He's actually got all the Gisborne bowls behind. You know, if he can actually get it to the pit and stay in, it's 4. So 5 if he goes with it.
Doesn't need to attack that much.
Well, now that the holes open up too, he's probably can play kind of weight. And looks like Kevin's going for the cover.
It's a smart bowl. He's a bit quick though, JT.
Should hang around.
Right, so Ethan needs to go that 3/4 pace now, and he's going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possibly if he gets to the jack right.
As I said before, the jacks always move further than you think they're going to, so it's a hard shot this. He's got to play weight to get it there, and then obviously stop it from going all the way to back.
And he's coming off big weight. Real big weight.
He's got every chance. Oh, no, he's not going to clear the front. I thought for a second he was going to get down to the bowls and flop in for shot.
Fight back continues for Kerang. They're going to need to fight real hard to get the overall back in this one, but they'll pick up another 2 in this ring. I was about to say to you as we were talking about the Black Ducks, one of the viewers at home, they've been sensational on filling in the bits of information we haven't got. And Shirley Hummel said maybe the Black Ducks on the lakes around the area, possibly.
As I say, I reckon if you look closely at their logo, and I've probably never really had a hard look, I reckon there might be actually a black duck on their logo. So there is a lot of lakes around the area.
Yeah, there is a black duck on the logo.
There you go. So, you know, you got Lake Charm and Kangaroo Lake around the area. That's probably where it all stems from.
Hopefully we don't get one of them black ducks on the green today. Who knows what you'll call it?
Nah, I've switched on today. I'm not day 8 into a live stream session today.
Dude, you get pretty delirious doing this commentary day after day. You sort of all blends into one.
There's a lot of content you've got to provide, Jimmy.
Try to get Mel's attention. Yeah, big area for duck shooting. Should have had Gary Ball on. I know he's a big duck shooter.
I'm wondering how much work Rowdy's doing today. Come on, Rowdy.
About as much as Lucas did yesterday when he was in the office because he was on the live stream most of the day. Time to go clean my office.
I spent last Thursday with Rowdy. We had an All Abilities Day in Swan Hill.
Yeah, awesome.
And it's always run by Mallee Sports Assembly, and Rowdy was quite prominent in terms of helping out the day. Had the Junior Jack Attack kit set up at the back, you know, so,
awesome.
you know, in his RBM capacity, doing a great job in the area.
Russell Walker dotting one on again. He's not missed many so far this morning. Try and see some scores from around the games I can see. 16-8 Lakes Entrance lead Kringle. The Traralgon game, if I can just see the scoreboard. I can't because there's someone called Chris Ward right in the way. No, he's moved. 17-12. No, 18-12, 19-20, 12, 21, 22. Unless someone's completely messing this scoreboard up, which is a possibility. Although it's Jenny O'Shea, I kind of trust her. I think she'd be pretty handy. I think they're just updating the scoreboard over there, so give me a second. I'll update the score for you. Russell Walker, JT. Yeah, you'd have him as your lead any day, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no. Definitely have that.
It's a fist pump from Ethan. So 24-12 after 18 to Eagle Hawk over Traralgon. So this section is flipping on its head. After 2 games yesterday, Traralgon were looking likely to make the final. They're struggling at the moment. I tell you who else are in a bit of a battle, JT. The Bandura guys.
Yes, the last score we had was they were down. Oh, it looked like they got their
front.
noses in front now, but it's close.
21-19, the Bandura over City of Geelong after 17 ends. Can't quite see all the far greens. We'll let you know when we get the scores. Ethan is animatedly unhappy. Unhappy?
Yeah, definitely unhappy.
I think he said, I'd rather you put it in the pit.
Well, I'd argue, not again, obviously he's not trying to put the bowl there, but one, he might have actually potentially taken a shot away, you know, by leaving the bowl there. But sometimes you get a bit of value out of, you know, being encouraging to your team at times, Jimmy, versus chastising them.
He was definitely chastising. Oh, I think Ian's bowled pretty well this game as well. I think he's allowed an off bowl if he wants.
Well, and Ian's actually played quite well this game so far, you know. So, well, he's reached the head at least. Still not a lot of love from Ethan here. Just giving him the Blake, oh, you got Jack High, mate.
Yeah. Secretly fuming.
If I was Ian, I'd wait till a bowl where Ethan drops 100-foot short and I'll be just reminding him of it.
Be all over him.
Yep.
Couple of Alan Higgins next door. He's 9-4 up. I've missed an end on this one.
Gary Candy's 15-0.
Yeah, he's... Andy said he could bowl. He messaged me last night, said get me mate Gary on. He said he can definitely play, and he's showing that this morning. I had Lindsay go here. He's going to crash bang wallop summer.
Had the right weight. Yeah, it's
a tough head setup for Kerang now.
It's probably one of those ones now where even though the yellow bowl's close to second shot and they can't afford to lose it, I think they need to be trying to disturb something there because the way the head's in, they're not going to draw a shot. You need to disturb something to be able to get shot. It might take 2 bowls to do it.
Kerang have picked up next door on the San Pasco rink. Just wait and see what they do with the scoreboard. He's a ripper, that bloke for Keringle. I don't know his name, but I've had a good laugh with him all week, and he's up and about. I got stuck in the Keringle in the trivia last night as well.
Oh, did you? Oh, I've seen him around before. Yeah.
Oh, it's Johnny Curtin, actually.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
There was a question. He won... I said, you guys are currently playing in the midweek State Pennant Championship. Who were the winners last year? Kringle were runners-up to Port Melbourne, and they all went... And then when I was giving the answers, I said, the answer was, of course, Port Melbourne, in an absolute thrashing of Kringle.
Well,
and this morning they were trying to hurry me up to ring the bell to start the game. I said, I'm trying to delay you guys losing your next game. Yeah, they weren't happy about that one either.
We've always been pretty good at stirring, Jimmy.
Oh, mate, it's probably number 1 on my resume. I've added Quizmaster to that now after that trivia last night. You're right, Terry Kelly on the forehand. Probably just trying to get behind is what Ethan wants, just to give him some cover, because there's currently nothing really there. He's going to pull up, I think. Yes, gets that little bit of plank of wood that sits up on the end of the green, which they always do, and falls back. So you can't just see it on camera. It's literally just off camera, but Terry Kelly's plot one. But half a bowl short of the ditch. So it does give Gisborne a back bowl now, or best back as we've been calling it. Son Pasco picking up a couple next door, so 9-6 the way of Gisborne on that rink after 7 ends. Looks like, for my eyes, that the McBain Rink are off the mark against Gary Candy because she's just gone first, meaning they had possession of the mat. We got your Bulldogs hat on, mate, don't worry. Kevin Teasdale, he's going to want a fair bit of luck here and going to actually bring a Gisborne bowl forward, but not into the can.
Probably opens up a shot for him if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Could play a bit more firmer in the forehand and try and get the first yellow and black bowl onto the orange and flick it out and leave the blue one there. As we've seen so far, though, it doesn't. And Rowdy has backed up. Kevin Teasdale is a very good draw bowler. He backs himself to draw. He may not play with much weight at times. Craig McCarron's joined us on the live stream. No, it doesn't seem to happen as much, I feel, in midweek Pennant as it does in weekend Pennant, Craig. A little bit more conservative, I would feel.
Yeah, I agree with that call, JT. Well, Kev's having a little trundle here. Oh, mate.
There it is.
Oh, Kevin Teasdale, right on cue. Absolutely. Look, he's played that with superb weight because he's managed to keep his bowl in there with a couple of double wicks as well. It'll bring Ethan down to the head. So you call him, Craig, they'll play him.
Craig did go with smacking the head. I wouldn't call that smacking the head, yet. So.
But for what we've seen so far, that was smacking the head, except Ethan going hard at him.
I reckon there's every chance Ethan might smack the head here.
Oh, Ethan under a bit of pressure now because Kevin's peeled a few good bowls off the last few ends. And he has the run at it. I want to hang on that line, I think.
He's going to get to the yellow bowl first.
Split it over.
Oh.
It's Kerang back to Gisborne. One of Gisborne. Maybe two.
Nah, one. I wouldn't be clapping it. Guy sitting behind the rink there from Gisborne Colours was clapping it.
There's an incident on Sunday where
I think I remember. I might have tuned on around this time.
I wasn't overly happy with it. And I mean, look, it was against Melbourne, but that doesn't make a difference. But someone applauded an outrageous bowl of Matty Flappers that...
wasn't it the guy from behind the rink, though, not the actual player?
No, yeah, it wasn't a player at all. Yeah, it wasn't a player at all. It was just a spectator. And then I copped a bit in the comments as well, so whatever.
Nah, it's not the way you play it. I said I think the players played the right way about it.
Yeah. Surely you're right. Ethan does not need any form of invitation to look at whacking ahead. I reckon, I can't quite see because Alan Higgins is in the way, but I reckon the McBain Rink have picked up 2 ends on the trot against Gary Candy. I don't know how many.
It's 15-3.
15-3, so 2 and a 1. It's good for them. They're off the mark and on the comeback trail, JT. Long way back, but they'll give it a crack.
Russell Walker, fair start again.
Yeah, he's not missing many.
I'd love to learn a little bit more about Russell Walker because, as we said in the start, he's an OAM, Jimmy. You know.
Yeah, is it? Does anyone know? I mean, there's like definitely some Gisborne supporters out there. Andy, I know you know. In fact, what did he get his OAM for, or Russell Walker? I didn't have a chance to catch up with him this morning to ask him.
It's a marvellous honour.
They go to a good home.
You're right about Pete Williams. He's fairly instrumental and involved in that head, isn't he?
From second.
If he was at my rink, I'd tell him.
Get on that bank.
Not on the bank, but...
No, I'm a big fan of it. That's the way I skip. I don't mind people having an opinion in what's happening. That's a cracking adjustment there by Barry.
I've just had the lovely Gail Teasdale, which is Kevin's
yeah.
much better half, say that an interesting point. Russell Walker grew up in Kerang, and his dad was the president at the Kerang.
Yes. Awesome. I'm so glad someone knew him. So my best mate over here, he's completely non-related to bowls, doesn't play bowls at all. Yeah, I'll get to that one as well. His partner, Sandra, she's Sandra Jackson before they got married. But her nan lives up in Kerang, and they're always up there. And she said to me one day, I reckon my uncle plays bowls. It's something to do with it. So, yeah, just getting that confirmed. And then, I knew you'd know, Andy. You're a fountain of knowledge, mate. So he was the former, this is Russell Walker, OAM, the lead for Gisborne, the former Deputy Auditor General for Victoria and Board of RSPCA and many other accolades. So he'd be a good bloke to sit down with after the game and have a chat with. It had some good stories, I imagine. As Ian puts in two pretty good bowls, and his Henselite XG almost falls against the bias.
Yeah, look, it's gone. Don't start.
Mal's just gone for a trot to get us some scores here, the green, so we'll let you know as soon as that text comes through. I can see that Lake's entrance next door lead the Mornings Peninsula side, Kringle 1910. Don't have any more of an update on the Traralgon Eaglehawk. It's still 24-12 the way of Eaglehawk over Traralgon on that green. Oh, wow, JT. I reckon I can see. I don't know how this has happened.
Geelong and...
Geelong
and Bundoora.
38. Bundoora 21 after 23.
So last time we checked the scores, it was 19-21, and they've scored 19 straight shots.
That's either a wrong flip of a score or they've gone hot.
Surely it's not. It's meant to be 28, do you think?
I can see their first rink 16-4 up for Geelong.
Wow.
So that section is getting a bit fun. Mal will go and get the other scores. It's Chura Hilltop, I can see. She's already gone. Yeah. Yeah, Bev, they don't quite work for team games, so obviously, or rinks within team games. It's not quite there yet, and we didn't want to go with something that was just going to be a nightmare for you guys and a nightmare for us to manage as well. So it's on the way, like it's almost there for the team, for the individual games, like it was at state champs. It works perfectly well. But for these games with rinks in it, it's not quite there, and we just more hassle than it's worth. So it's easier for us just to walk up and down and give you the scores across the live stream. So I'm telling you, this time next year, I already said to all the team managers who are here this weekend, I don't think we'll be using scorecards next year, actual scorecards. I think there'll be a bit of movement at our events where we'll go to live scoring and possibly get the players doing that for us. There's a bit of water to go under the bridge in terms of things being signed off, but and then obviously that'll be live because I'll go straight in. But unfortunately, it's probably 80% of the way, but not quite there yet, and not worth the headache it would have caused not being fully there. But I hope you can see we're trying our hardest to bring you the updates from elsewhere, because we know you're All want to see how your clubs and your regions are going. So I do have some scores. It is 27-12 Eaglehawk over Traralgon, and it is 38-21 to City of Geelong over Bundoora. So that's a huge result there, and Mel's at the other two greens. She's going to text me them scores through shortly as well. Still Gisborne holding from Ian's bowl here. Kevin. Oh, get out of that way, Lindsay. Thanks, Mel. You're a star. Now I get my coffee finally. Don't think she made it to the top green, so she's get him as we get it. Has Ethan gone here, JT?
Close.
Yeah, real good.
Has set the head up though, like.
We've seen Kevin can sit and stay on bowls.
Play one of those floaty bowls like he did last end to give the bowl a chance, you know, hang around.
In the backhand. Yeah, he's going for that bowl again, JT. Similar shot to get out of the way, Lindsay. Sorry, guys. We're going to tap him on his shoulder. He's
got a bit of jack.
He's played it.
And moved it far enough.
He's played a bomb as well. When he puts that arm down, Lindsay, I'm going to steal it off him. And he can only get it back when he stands out the way of the camera. Otherwise, he just gets in the way again and hoofs a bowl out the count without Terry dealt with it in good spirits.
Could have made two.
Good shot by Kev. He's played some good bowls early this morning. And I know Rowdy said he was a terrific draw bowler. Has made two. But he's played some good weighting bowls his last couple of ends. So they will even this one up 6 apiece after 8 ends. Gisborne controlling the overall scoreboard, courtesy of mainly Gary Candy's Rink. But Alan Higgins has got a 6-shot lead over Son Pascoe, so...
We've got the close one.
We always do, mate. It's not often. It's happened a couple of times.
I'm going to take a bit of credit for it, because, Jimmy, you did call me last night and ask me who we should have live streamed, you know, so...
I did. It's always good to get local knowledge. I can't know everything. I don't know everything. It's quite clear. All right. Tatura Hilltop. From the Golden Murray, lead Horsham City, 38-12. So with the Bundoora side from Metro going down to City of Geelong, we're on for a cracker if it continues that way, because that will mean City of Geelong and Tatura can both catch Bundoora if they lose. That's our live stream game next, is City of Geelong versus Tatura. So Tatura Hilltop, of course. So yeah, we've picked the right one as well. Yeah, not a bad shout actually, Andy. I know he's big. He's big, Kev. He's a nice bloke as well. Always have a good laugh with him. And the manager, Baz, keeps losing all his stuff, but he's a good bloke. Lost all his score. No, he never lost his scorecards. He was annoyed with me because the rink draw changed. Looks like Gisborne have picked up next door? I can't quite work out. Yeah, Gisborne have picked up again on the Alan Higgins rink. Wait until they do the scoreboard to see how many. He's Big Bass trying to get another one in. And the Wangaratta guys from Ovens and Murray lead the Portland crew 26-20. Portland from the West Coast region. Beautiful part of the world.
Where our illustrious president comes from.
Bowls at Simpson though, yeah?
Yeah, but in the West Coast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, yep.
Can't, mate.
I just deal in specifics, you deal in...
Generalisations?
Yeah, just guesses.
Not guesses, mate. Pretty sure I got the Macedon Rangers call for Ian Guymer right before, so, you know.
Well, clip that one up and keep it as your first ever time you've got something right.
Ah.
Right, Chelsea's been a little bit quiet the last few ends. Let's see if she can get the roll up and over of Big Barry's bowl start. She's a bit narrow with this one. Pace was probably not far off where she would have been. I think you've said this before, Shirley, about the... I haven't got a clue how that all works. I'm not that tech savvy, I've got to be now, to be honest. But I know the captions can't pick up my accent very well. I keep thinking I call it balls. That's a terrific bowl by Ian. Rolls in his mate Russell for shot. We've got a score correction on the Wangaratta Portland game, mate. It's actually 29-26 the way of Portland.
I did see that.
Kane Wilson. You can probably see his, you see him in the background on the stream. And go Kerang.
His old man chimed in before asking to get Kane on commentary, but
Is that his old man up there as well?
no,
Oh,
that's I'm pretty sure it's an uncle, but Jason's obviously at home or working or whatever, and said get Kane on the commentary. But I reckon we could go from Kane not saying anything to not being able to shut him up.
Poor you, Shirley. I'm sure you understood about one word of that. That's what he said on the speech after I welcomed him to the stage on Saturday night. He said, well, if you didn't understand that bloke, you're definitely not going to understand me.
Tell you who are hard to understand? The Welsh.
Oh, the Welsh. I had Tony say there's a guy who joins our live stream fairly often from Wales, and he comments.
Yeah.
I said to Tony, how do you pronounce that then?
Aberystwyth.
Aberystwyth.
Yeah, well, not bad. Yeah.
Some funny names.
Oh, yeah.
They've obviously got the longest town name in the world, Landclethly on a little Dudno or something like that. It's about I think it's 26 letters long or something like that.
Wow.
It's a train station. It's a famous sign.
This is awfully close, this bolt.
It is. Bear Jack all the way.
Great
It was
bar.
never in danger, that shot by Lindsay. It was there out of the arm. Sits on top of it. He's still on the green, but Chelsea's bowl is there also. We'll get the camera just pointed down so you can see where it is. So the Jack is where that white marker is. It's an absolute
I was going to
bomb.
say, is there any touches for Gisborne? I reckon there is. That orange bowl that's on nearly the tee, but at this stage, Ethan's asking for to try and get down and get to the bowls and hang around, but
Good stuff by the third for Kerang there. He had an opportunity and took it straight away. He can get out the way of the camera. He'll be having a good game. Oh, Terry. It's Kerang bowl coming forward.
fair to say Ethan's body language isn't great at times.
I think he's just 100% in the game, and he probably is not realising what he's doing. Yeah, Kevin just sort of saying, Lindsay, you just got to beat this bowl now, pal. I wonder, I'm actually going to, I don't know off the top of my head, so I'm just going to check Bowls link. With Lakes winning next door, and Eaglehawk winning on the far rink, and Gisborne winning this, Gisborne will be the only one on 3 wins.
Yep.
Who are they playing next? Eaglehawk, who will be on 2 wins if it stays the way it is. Lakes play Traralgon. They'll both be on 2 as well. Anything could happen in this section. And with City of Geelong leading Bundora from Metro, that section's opening up as well, which is just like what we like to see. Oh, Terry Kelly could have cut one out there now. Still 2, reckons Ethan. He's kind of waggling his fingers like he's not 100%
Better
sure.
though.
Oh,
Better though. I mean, limits, 3 or 4 building up there with that 3rd shot there.
Yeah, well, it's difficult for Kev. Look, if he was an adventurous type of player...
You could look to get that bowl because the touch is behind it anyway. You're not going to lose anything by having a crack.
Correct. If he comes on the back end real quick, the yellow's protected. He can't really get that unless he splits off screws off the bowl.
As I said, I still reckon there's a toucher, but it probably wouldn't go now where that purple bowl is next to it. I mean, whether that's chalk or not, it looks like chalk to me, but... Do you reckon I can go walk over there and just have a quick look and see whether the bowl's got chalk on it, Jimmy?
Why don't we just halt the play and say, can you play this shot? It'd be good for camera, because Kev's coming on the forehand. I reckon the backhand runner at that was the way to go.
Maybe that's just a shiny bit.
Yeah. I'll tell you what was funny yesterday was... you will know, commentating here at Region Sides, that light that comes across the green at a certain time of day.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was, I can't remember now. Oh, Kevin, off that one. Someone sprayed, it was Jack Woodhouse actually, sprayed the, the lilac chalk, the purpley chalk, and like this plume of dust of it was almost like someone set a flare off. Oh, Ian Guymer coming up with the goods of the scores from up the other rinks.
We have Ovens and Murray 26, West Coast 29. We've already got that one. That's on 25 ends. City of Geelong, here's Ethan. Hang on, we'll just better watch this. Nothing changes. Yes, no, so that's Tatura Hilltop 38 versus Horsham City 12 on 26. City of Geelong 39 playing Bundura 23, that's on 25, and Eaglehawk 29 playing Traralgon 14, and that's on 24.
Some funny results this morning. I don't think many would have seen that Bundura loss coming, so City of Geelong on fire over there. They just got to keep it up for the next 20 ends.
As you know, Jimmy, I messaged and said, geez, that's a stacked side from Bundura. They're Premier Division players playing.
Got 5 of them. And some good Divi 1 players in there too, as well. From Bundura's second side, so on a weekend pennant. Tough
Kev's
draw
just,
for Kev.
yeah.
Still the 2, we think. Pretty sure to...
So I can confirm now, with that angle, that definitely wasn't a toucher on that Bowls. I've been asking for that shot, and
Alan Higgins extended his lead. What's Ethan done here? Oh, he's got the gap, I reckon. Yep. Yeah. Goes, oh! So we are an hour and a half into this game almost, 2 minutes shy. So we got another hour to play for those who are fresh to state pennant streams. They're 15 ends per rink. 2.5 hour time limits, and we don't often lose ends. It's probably only happened once across 3 and a bit days of play. It's 9 ends, isn't it? 10. 17-3 on the far one. Gary Candy picking up a couple.
yeah, it's just this rink, the Kerang, that's, playing quite well. Did I hear right that actually Ethan hasn't won a game yet? Pretty sure I did.
I haven't even looked, to be honest. I haven't tended to follow the India. I just focused on the overall. Extended the lead, City of Geelong over Bundora, 42. 26 now. Lee Swartz saying Doug Woods leading for the Bundora guys.
Well, Kevin Teasdale hasn't lost a game yet, so Alan Higgins hadn't lost a game yet. No, yes, he has. Sorry, that's my apologies. But let's go scroll. Ethan Higgins has won 1.
And Lakes entrance, 26 to 12 up over Kooringal next door. The runners up from last year, Kooringal, of course. So we were talking about this on the weekend. The weekend Pennant State Championship tends to be dominated by the Metro sides.
Yep.
It's sort of about an 80-20 split across the winners in the last, I don't know, 20 odd years. But midweek Pennant is dominated by the regional clubs, and it's sort of about an 80-20 split the other way. Of course, Port Melbourne winning it last year for Metro, so they were looking for a double up with Bundora, but it's all to play for now. I don't really know how to explain that.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. When I actually tuned in when you guys were talking about that, and I'm glad you guys mentioned KRSL, because that's my home original club.
Yeah,
and
right.
you know, there was a time there where you could say, well, they're only one of 5 or 6 country clubs ever win state pennant. And it's actually built a little bit since then. Bendigo East, Ocean Grove, Shepparton Golf, and then now South Bendigo. So if you go back to we have this city versus country state trials now, Jimmy, as you know.
Yeah.
Last year, country rolled city in both of them, and this year, city rolls country in both of them. So, look,
What
some
it
people
probably shows is it's even.
Yeah, and people would argue that Metropolitan Premier's the best comp, and probably is the best comp in the state, but there's some bloody good bowlers out in country Victoria.
Why is it not fair, Lynn? You tell me why it's not fair that players can't play on midweek. I completely don't agree with that comment in the slightest.
If they're available and want to turn up and play midweek, that's up to them.
If you don't want to play against the best, why play? Be my retort to that.
It's only Premier in name. Obviously, it is a Premier competition, but the reality is it's still a top-line competition, just like the midweek pennant is a top-line competition.
Yep. Ethan Higgins playing for Gisborne, Alan Higgins, Tim Rogers, Peter Williams. I'm sure they'd all play Division 1 Ballarat Highlands comp. I look at the guys from Kooringal. They all play Division 1 for Mornington Peninsula. It's only a different name. That's all it is. As we were pretty much just alluding to, it's fairly even across.
And they're getting rolled at the moment, so it doesn't mean anything, You still got to go out and play well.
So, not fully agreeing on that one. That's okay. That's what makes the world go round. If we all agreed, this would be no fun at all.
That's why me and you better so much.
Exactly.
Well, if I know Ethan, he won't be happy about that.
Nor will Ian as well. He's just hung his head behind us in the commentary booth. Yeah, Lindsay, you can see at the top of the camera there, just knew he was narrow at the hand with that ball. So 20 the difference overall in favour of Gisborne in this one. It's starting to get difficult for Kerang to turn it around, but still plenty of time, still plenty of ends. Got about 55 minutes to run in this one. So on the basis we take 10 minutes a hand, they'll make it. But you know more than that. Right, Lindsay played an absolute cracker last time. So he goes. So I'll get a notification from my son's school. He's got another student free day. How many of them do they get here? It's close here is Lindsay. He's very close, wants to hurry. Cracking effort.
His last 2 or 3 bands have been really good. He's played some real telling bowls.
Real no fuss delivery by Terry Kelly. Just gets it away real well. And I want to get the inside of Russell Walker's orange bowl here. Didn't have the weight anyway. So one of Gisborne. Oh, we've got him in. We've got the young man, Kane Wilson, from Kerang coming in for a bit. I'll jump out, JT, and he can have a chat with you, mate.
Sounds good. And we are joined by currently selected Victorian under-18 player Kane Wilson from Kerang Bowling Club. Kane.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No worries. We just thought you're here, you're sitting here. I'm not sure why you're not at school today.
Bowls is better, I reckon.
No, we just thought you being a Kerang bowler and obviously supporting your home club today in the state midweek pennant finals. But we learned a little bit about the upcoming test series. You recently been selected to represent Victoria against Tassie. How do you feel about it all?
Pretty grateful for the opportunity.
You know, you can talk a little bit more, Kane.
I know, just getting warmed up.
Yeah, look, obviously we have an upcoming test series against Tasmania in July. We've picked 7 boys and 6 girls to compete against Tasmania, and it acts as a bit of a precursor. You made your debut last year.
Yeah.
And, tell us a little bit about the debut last year down in Tasmania. Launceston, wasn't it?
Yeah, Launceston.
Yep.
My heart was pumping a bit first game. It was unbelievable. And then I think it just, as the days went on, I just got, I reckon, louder, and by the end of the day, I was just louder.
We did, Mel, our commercial marketing manager, made the trip, and she did comment that you went from being really quiet and reserved to couldn't shut you up by the end of the trip.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously that's great. You obviously felt, integrated into the side and felt more comfortable. You know, and it's always nervous the first time you get to represent your state, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like, because I'm in the country, don't know anyone, so meeting all the people that were selected as well. So.
How old are you, Kane?
15.
And how long have you been playing the sport?
4 years.
And tell us a little bit about Kerang, because there's a bit of a family connection. Correct me if I'm wrong. Your auntie's on this live stream, Rink.
Yep.
Yep. And tell us a little bit about your family involved in Kerang Bowling Club.
Well, my auntie plays there, my uncle, me and my dad. Or me, my dad and my uncle playing Div 1, while auntie is Div 3. Probably go up a bit more this year, probably in Division 2, bowling well. So, yeah, my dad's been there for around about probably 10 years now.
Yep.
Auntie's been there 1 year, and me and my uncle have been there for 4 years. So, yeah.
And getting back to the under-18 state selection, give us a bit of background in terms of how most of the guys are picked. Can you give us a bit of background about the junior pathways from your perspective?
Well, you get picked and looked at when you enter like the under-18 tournaments. Like recently, they had the under-18 championships in Bendigo, or Bendigo East, where you had bowlers, under-18 bowlers from around Vic enter in events like as pairs, triples, mixed pairs and singles. And if you bowl well there, you might get looked at, and then, yeah.
And obviously, the idea of the test series, it acts as a precursor for the national championships in October. And at the stage, as I said, we've got 7 boys in our side representing against Tasmania. 7 has to be dwindled down to 5, So
Yeah.
Whilst it's an honour to represent your state, you're also vying for national championship selection, aren't you?
Yeah, so can't be just mucking around and just having, well, you have fun as well.
You've got to have fun while you're playing,
yeah.
mate, yep.
Can't be just mucking around and just saying, I've been picked, what else is there to it? Got to actually bowl well, show them what you can do, and you hope to get picked later on in the year.
As Kerang takes out another end here in our live stream match, it's I reckon it's about 4 on the trot, at least 3 on the trot, and 5 out of the last 6 ends. So they've got a bit of momentum here in Kev Teasdale's rink. Kevin's a great bowler from your club, isn't he, Kane?
Yeah, I reckon he's won about last. Well, he's not last, but he's won around about 10 single championship clubs.
He won this year, didn't he? And he went, I think he made it to the semi-final of the champion singles or something like that, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think he played. I don't know from memory.
I reckon he played Jason Lunghusen in the semi-final from memory.
Yeah, probably.
So, yep. And lastly, we'll finish on a note. Our under-18 state side is spearheaded by the one and only Matty Flapper. What's it like having to play under someone like Matt Flapper?
It's good. He's a pretty funny bloke. He takes jokes and he's not too serious, but he can be. He knows what he's doing and teaches us well and what we've got to improve on, what he thinks helps us better in bowling, and what we should. I already said that.
That's all good, mate.
Yeah, he's a pretty good coach, I reckon.
Yeah, we are quite lucky in our state of Victoria to have someone the calibre of Matt Flapper as our under-18 state coach. Obviously, still currently playing for Victoria, has played for Australia in the Commonwealth Games, you know, and I think he's getting to the north of 400 games representing our state, you know. So I think being that I'm involved from the juniors in in terms of the events and selection, all that sort of stuff, it's great to have someone like Matt Flapper on board with our under-18 state side to teach our future stars all they know about the game. So
yeah, that's all right.
Kane, thank you for coming along.
No worries.
We had Joel Mann saying before that he wanted to see you on here. I wasn't sure how you're going to go.
Yeah.
As I say, what I know about you, buddy, is you start slowly, but then you warm up, and sometimes we can't shut you up.
Yeah.
You know? So, thank you for jumping on board, buddy.
No worries.
Cheers, mate. We will have Jimmy back here shortly. As Russell Walker, who has been a standout for Gisborne in this rink, been leading exceptionally well. Next door, Alan Higgins is leading 15-6 against Sun Pasco, and Gary Candy is currently leading 18-5 on the next rink. So outside this rink here, where obviously Kevin Teasdale on the Kerang rink is holding the lead, that the Gisborne guys are on top on the overall.
How'd he go?
Ah, yeah, look, you could tell he was nervous.
I'll just fix up some of these scores because you can't do 2 things at once, mate.
I choose not to do 2 things at once. How about that? No, he's a good kid. I said, luckily, I've obviously got to know him a little bit over the last couple of years since moving into the Mallee region, and got a lot of potential. You've been playing Division 1 Pennant now at Kerang since he was like 13, so getting exposed to a reasonable level of competition. He's gone down and performed well at state championships. And obviously earned him selection for the first time last year in the Victorian under-18 side, and played well enough to hold his spot.
Yeah. I'm going to take issue with Lynn's comment again there, the win-loss ratio for Banter during the season. Go to any section, in any division, in any region, of anywhere in Victoria. In fact, extend that to Australia, extend that to any sport. You'll find a dominant side in most sections, divisions.
Look, and on that, and it's a little bit different but the same. I remember I moved to Gold Coast in the late 2000s, and I played for South Tweed, and we played Pennant, and we come up against Helensvale. And at this stage, they had 12 players in their side, and 8 of the players had played for Australia, and 10 of the 12 had played for the state. And if you use that same analogy, you'd go, well, why would you even bother entering? But we managed to beat them in a Pennant Grand Final up there that year, you know. So,
oh, Lindsay going again. He loves a good rake of a jack. Yeah, it's sport. It's what happens in sport. There's better teams. There's not good teams. But bowls, the sport it is, lawn bowls. Anyone can beat anyone on a given day.
yeah, exactly.
It's about challenging yourself, and you can't penalise sides for having good players and then players wanting to play the sport.
And there's always those chance of Cinderella stories of
100%.
country sides coming from nowhere and winning a state title, you know. So, no, I'm all for it. As I said, we talked before, there's probably only been marginal amount of country sides that have won a weekend state pennant, but for those weekend sides, country sides that have won it, they take a lot of pride in that, you know.
There was tears in the South Bendigo side on Sunday evening.
I'm not sure whether he's discussed, but, I mean, Tommy Lester, who we both know really well.
Yeah, but his own back-to-back.
Back-to-back state pennant winner for two different sides. You go through the record books, I wouldn't sure that many people would have done that.
No, I agree. No, we did mention it a few times. Old T-Bone.
The only thing is we're going to have Trapper walking around now saying he's the king selector, you know.
All right, it's Jack's in the pit. We'll try and show you. We'll get the camera down and show you where the little marker is on the edge of the green. Brad will swing it down. Well, you can see the marker there, almost at the foot of Kevin Teasdale, where the mat is on the.
I reckon by looking at that head and looking where the stand, I reckon the Kerang bowl shot.
No one can seem to find a bowl to come through, though, eh? So yeah, I agree. It might have even made two nudging that yellow forward on the angle.
You'd think though around the white bowls, and you still got nearly 2 yards at your shot.
Yeah, I hate that. It's one thing I'm no good at. There's probably a few things I'm no good at calling, but
you're no good at anything. But anyway,
the measure out the ditch, I can never work out who's going to have shot there.
I think it's always harder when you got one bowl in the ditch and one bowl in the green.
Yeah.
You'd nearly go. Actually, interesting, Andy. I have a real thought on this one, and might not come across the right way, but my opinion is that I actually don't like it. And what Andy's written there on the stream is that, you know, New South Wales, they have 7 grades of pennant across the state, and they all play for a state pennant. You know, I look at it from a logistics and a costing perspective. It's a lot of money to go towards running a state title, and obviously it gives people an opportunity to play for a state title. But you go across any sport across the country.
Kevin, just out the camera. Sorry, JT.
Oh,
it draws to the absolute plinth. Kevin Teasdale.
What a bowl. And you don't see a C-grade cricket side from Swan Hill go off and play for a state title, you know. So, look, there's mixed views on it. It might sound a little elitist, that comment, but I like the fact that we just have a state pennant for our mid-weekend and midweek and determine our overall state winner for those particular grades.
I think with the grading we're playing, I mean, it's... Look, players improve and unimprove.
But the other issue with the New South Wales one is
I really know it works.
And I do, because I played there for 18 months. You have clubs and players who actually deliberately drop themselves down to a certain grade so they can win a state pennant. And so then all of a sudden you get blokes who are probably Division 1 or Grade 1 bowlers playing in Grade 4 because they want to win a state pennant.
Yeah.
And that's where I don't like it either. So
Ethan possibly drawing second shot, possibly not. There was a guy here on, I think it might have been yesterday or Sunday. He was standing right next to me, come up to me and he said, what grade is playing here next? And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, what grade? And I was like, oh, and I told him the game. I can't remember who the game was. And he goes, yeah, but what grade's that? And I was like, it's just the grade. Well, Kevin, don't pot your own ear, buddy. No, he's going to draw and just fall in. And yeah, we had a conversation, and he was dumbfounded. I asked him where he played. He played at Marimbula.
There you go.
And he was dumbfounded. And we had a good chat about it, actually. Nice bloke. Yeah, it's all different ways of doing it. Is that the only one with graded? Is New South Wales only with graded, or did WA do it as well?
No, like New South Wales is the only state that does it.
I'll tell you something in itself.
Beg pardon?
I'll tell you something in itself.
Look, it's interesting. I said I was an RBM in Dubbo for 18 months, and so I was based out of New South Wales. And interesting enough, a guy who I met out there named Jay Porter, who was on the board of Bowls New South Wales, and he's now the CEO of Cabramatta. So, he's actually played for the state, very good bowler. And me and him would have this discussion amount of times because he liked the idea of it, and I never did, you know. And I come from a Victorian background, and he come from New South Wales. So, there's no right answer with it, but that's just my perception on it. So,
it's good to get opinions. It's good to get conversations happening. We're all about that. What's Ethan got here? He's going to need to clear bowls, which he's not going to do, but he might push Terry.
That one might have been enough for second.
Second shot. Possibly only the one to Kerang. Absolute bomb of a bowl played there. I think we used to have bronze matches, Mordy. I think, I mean, not in my time. I haven't had 5 minutes to sit down and think about.
So, again, I'll give you my perspective on it. You've just come off and lost the semi-final, and I've been there and done that. I think the last thing you want to do is go out and play another match. I think having equal thirds is quite good, you know, and reward them for getting that far. But you don't really want to play that match after you've just lost the game that potentially go into the final, personally. So
State pennant, 2 sections of 6. I don't really think we need to have a third place. I don't personally, but state events are different. I guess the only thing to factor into that, and you would probably know more than anyone, Morty, because you do more travelling than anyone for this sport, is if you've just lost and you've got that drive back to wherever you've got it back to, whether it be Sale in your case or Portland, Lakes Entrance, wherever you're coming from around the state, do you really want to play a game for a bronze and then drop out? I don't know, you might do.
that match is like kissing your sister, mate. It's just not worthwhile. I've got some score updates here from the back greens. Wangaratta is leading Portland 37-31 on 36 ends. Chichura Hilltop is leading Horsham City 48-22 on 36. City Geelong 47, defeating at this stage Bundoora 34 on 35 ends. And Eagle Hawk is still leading Traralgon 32-26. That's the closest one out of them all on 33.
So it was 2 to Kerang there, JT.
This rink has been on a roll. We're saying they've won 6 now out of the last 7 ends. As I said for Kerang, though, it's unfortunate the other 2 rinks are having a bit of a battle. Although Som Pascoe just played a really good bowl and made shot.
We do have some exciting things coming up at BV, though. We haven't really spoken about it at all, but we've got the VBL, which we posted a bit of a teaser about. Victorian Bowls League coming pretty soon. Some more info coming out on that soon, looking across the August-September time. Some more snippets released on that soon.
Sounds like a great new innovative event, Jimmy.
Russell just behind.
He's still been very steady. He's been by far Gisborne's best bowler on this rink.
The guys from Lakes Entrance leading 30-20 against Kooringal. You done the Strzelecki up there? You just
I did that.
Yeah. Yeah, Lillian saying, "Come on, Traralgon." What's Russell got? Doesn't need to adjust too much. Ethan's clapping it in. Needs to hang his head a little bit. Yeah. Just dropped short. We do play a couple of... We do play lower divisions in Metro, play 3 rinks. Most play 3 rinks. 2 rinks. We had a 6-a-side in Metro, which is kind of fallen away.
Yep.
I'm in 2 minds about what to do with that next year. I might just throw a complete change into it. Honestly, I think we've got 6 entries into the summer version, so I can't go any worse. I might just put it on a Friday night and see if that takes off. Friday night, 6-a-side, short format games, and just see if I get Friday nights, especially in Metropolitan. I use a lot for barefoot people to work and whatever, but I can't lose any more entries. I either fold the comp because I've got so many little entries, or we just throw it out somewhere else.
I reckon the Friday night time slot, maybe this is more a country-centric viewpoint, but it's the unutilised day because we've got so many people who are time poor and they like the idea of, playing the sport but don't want to commit their sad days up for as long as they can. But if they could go and play a Pennant match on a Friday night, as an example, they've got the whole weekend to do whatever they want, so...
I mean, look at me. Take away the fact that I work for Bowls Victoria, but I'd be, 33, young family. I'd be the demographic we're trying to attract to the sport. And my life, I didn't play Pennant really last year. I think I played 4 games for Melbourne. And a lot of it had to do with the commentary and stuff and young family. But if games were on a Friday night, I'd probably pay a few more because I'd still have my weekend.
One of the, we did it for the first time since I've moved up to Swan Hill. We played a Friday night match.
Ian, go for the jack.
Oh, it was close. It was great. I had the whole Saturday off to spend time with... I've got a young family too, Jimmy, so...
35-25, Traralgon are down against the Eagle Hawk, Phil. And Kerang do play again today, Gary. The next time slot is 11, due to be 12, but we'll probably push them back 10 minutes, give them a little bit of a longer lunch break. Sort of been pretty flexible with the arrangements.
Another good bowl down here by Lindsay. He's just going to scoot around the yellow bowl.
Sort of come into play.
I reckon they nearly got 4 shots there at the moment.
Oh, there you go, Ethan. 6-a-side would be good on a Friday. Look, Ethan, we can't get any less entries in that comp, so my thought was just to throw it there and see if anything comes of it. I do have plans for next season to introduce some form of night pennant, as well as a proper winter pennant competition as well. Obviously, we have all these facilities across the state now. These undercovers like this one at Moama, we've got more of an ability to play in the winter and not be as cold as we could be and as exposed to the elements. So there's all ideas come in as Terry has a run at this, gets the yellow onto the blue and continues to walk forward and grabs the shot according to Ethan.
Kevin Teasdale puts his finger up.
Oh, here we go. Let's bring a table in and get them arm wrestling.
I love that when someone puts their finger up and the other guy goes, he's got no idea. We got shot. I usually say that, but I'm usually down when I do that. Lindsay's very close here. Oh, if only got down underneath the yellow.
That's the real question they all want to know the answer to, Sean. That's something else we want to do next season as well. I haven't, I've got to be honest, I've sort of rested my brain from Pennant for the last 10 weeks, obviously with a baby being born and stuff. But we do want to introduce that tipping competition to the general public.
Yeah, general public. Well, that'd be good because people will be trying to not only beat each other but knock us off, and let's face it, probably wouldn't be hard beating me the way I went last year, so... I just deliberately tipped against people to try and upset
Terry Kelly. Superb.
To upset him, as you know, Jimmy. So and it worked. I had some good responses during the season. So
I did enjoy the fruits of the labour of the bet that I took off JT on that one.
Yeah, I did pay up people for those wondering. I did pay up. I don't not pay my bets.
Did pay his bet.
So to answer you, Sean, it's probably no good to me beating Jimmy next year because I'll deliberately tip against certain sides just to annoy him,
Well, we did that at Region Sides and we got...
oh, geez, didn't we get some feedback?
People.
Jeez.
We had set a few at Region Sides.
They think we were being personal against them,
That's all done in good fun. All right, Kevin Teasdale had a bit of work to do now after Terry's 2 good bowls. Sort of... made the second shot for himself after his first. But Kevin, he's not far away, but we won't know because Lindsay walks in front of the way.
He is
Got
shot.
a jack all the way in as
Kevin
well.
Teasdale.
Superb by Kev.
I knew he was the right guy to get on the live stream.
Yeah, he just brought Lindsay with him being the problem. I mean, eating good jest. He's trying his hardest, Lindsay. Ethan's after this, JT. I think he's got the legs. Oh, that's a Kerang bowl coming forward. Harry Candy's flying on that far ring. He's on his last end. Time we start, 9. 2 hours in, got half hour left.
Well, he's got more time to enjoy food and refreshments.
I know Andy wanted to see him. I'm kind of glad. It's a bit of a one-sided game. We didn't go with that one. And he's also be off way before anyone else. Oh, Kevin.
That is brilliant.
Oh, doesn't get the touch, though. He's still...
It's careless. Very careless, Kevin.
Superb. He has put on a bit of a clinic. Thoroughly deserved this rink lead. The guys from Kerang. Have we just been that much slower on this ring compared to the others? Because they're on N14 and 15.
Let's face it, Ethan's the hand wiper.
I don't think he's been that slow.
No, he hasn't.
You got some scores for us, JT. We'll call this bowl of Ethan first, and then we'll give you some updates from around the other greens as it's starting to tighten up everywhere and get close towards the end. Ethan coming in on the forehand this time. He's got to navigate a stack. He's got his arms out in, got to say, disgust. Doesn't know what's quite happened there.
Jeez, he nearly rolled another one in.
So it'll be 3, pretty sure, the way of it, yeah. 3 to Kerang. All right, give us the scores from around the traps.
Wangaratta 40, Portland 34 after 42, so only 3 ends remaining in that match. Chichura Hilltop 57, Horsham City 25 on 40. Geelong is scooting away. They're 14 shots in front over Bundoora. 5 ends of play. And Traralgon 27, Eagle Hawk 35 on 36. So they're going a bit slower. They've got a bit of time to go. 9 ends.
Yeah, I know you guys did have a few Friday nights up there, Phil, up Traralgon way. Newborough and pretty sure I've seen Long Warrior as well, playing a game against you up there. Yeah, I haven't made a right butcher of this. I don't know what, how have I done 8 there? So 1, sorry.
Oh my God.
You know what I've done? I've gone 8 off the scoreboard and put 8 in the rink score, sorry.
And I just looked at the overall on our screen here and it said 5 the difference. And nah, surely Kev Teasdale hasn't made that much difference, And that makes a huge difference now.
Sorry, I fixed the song.
That's all right, Jimmy. It's just true to your form. You're just making blunder after blunder. I noticed Ethan's disappeared.
It's probably just taking a minute. He didn't look very happy with that last bowl of his, so just taking a deep breath out the back somewhere. We all need to do that every now and again. Everyone deals with that differently, the frustration. Some show it visibly. I'm one of them. I'll get a bit grumpy, but others just take a minute. It's a fair adjustment by Baz.
The thing is, though, and this is where you got to look at it in context, his team's winning the overall, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said it before. If I was skipping a rink and we went out there for 14 weeks of the year and I lost every game but we won the overall, I couldn't care less. As long as we're winning the overall, that's all that matters.
You'd be struggling to make all 14 rounds.
What, do you reckon you get the sack?
Yes.
No, what if you lost by 1 every week?
Fair.
You could be carrying a couple players and got the weaker rink, but you're keeping it tight, mate. There's more to it than that.
There can be. There sure can be.
And if the other two rinks are winning and you're winning overall, why would you change it?
Yeah.
Can't, mate.
Mate, they did it at Melbourne. They changed skips at Melbourne. They put Bryce as skip, and we know how that one worked in the Premier League Grand Final.
Great move.
Yeah, I actually don't mind that idea, Andy. The Premier games played at regional areas. I did see you comment on that a few weeks ago.
You got to get a couple clubs to buy into it, though.
Correct.
That's the issue.
I won't give too much away, but this Victorian Bowls League will probably offer something similar to that. We are looking at, there'll be an increase in Friday night games for next year for Premier League. Our streaming numbers were huge compared to the Saturday afternoons and the Sundays we did. And look, last year was one big trial. It's the first time we've done it. We wanted to see how it went, and we'll take some learnings from it. So I think Friday nights will be more regular feature in terms of our live streaming for next year.
Pretty sure the one and only Friday night match I commentated last year got the record.
No.
Record viewers?
No.
Yeah, it did.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did, Jimmy.
The grand final.
No, but that's not a Friday night.
No.
No, the grand final definitely had the most viewers, and so it should have.
I hold the record for the most viewers.
Saying the Friday night matches, I'm pretty sure Tony and I, Deer Park versus Yarra for Footscray, had Nino Vlahovic stare at me all night because he was upset with me.
Now a state
Yeah, I know. I've seen
triples
that.
winner.
Pidge must have carried him. I'm sure he'll get on and find out about that.
I haven't seen Nino in the comments last few days, actually.
No.
All right, back to this game. Lindsay drawing in on the forehand. Got a bit of room to work with here. He's had to trail Jackson, move bowls the last few ends. So let's see how his draw is. It's pretty good for shot, mate.
Yep.
All right, Terry needs to repeat the dose and get the win. 19-8, the rink between Gary Candy and McBain has finished. And I've put 9 in there for some reason. What am I doing?
Yeah, you're on fire with the scoreboard.
I'm doing here. I haven't done this all week. Terry, can you get the inside of this? I think he's gonna. I think he was good from a long way out. Absolute bomb by Terry Kelly.
Great bowl.
I don't know if you could hear that on the marks, but he pretty much said, Kevin Teasdale, give that jack a tap, or give that bowl a tap, and it'll come back to our 3.
They do have everything sitting behind it, 3 feet behind the head.
A complete correct call. Tough to get to.
Probably needs to be
Less.
Yep. Or narrow, one or the other.
Even if he clears a few out the way for Kevin.
If you cleared that orange one that's just off centre, at least it gives you a better chance of getting to the white with the next one as well. There probably is a sneaky chance you happen to be wide, you could screw off the blue bowl and come across.
Tommy, I would describe you as one of the biggest one of them that I know. So I'm taking it as a compliment. Oh, Terry Kelly. 2 whoppers.
Wonder what he's referring to, which comment we made that we are nuts.
It's
probably been everything, you know. So this is the A-grade commentary team, Jimmy, you know. So
it's our preferred option.
Yeah.
We've got a B and a C grade rolling out, and then Matty O comes in around the D grade.
I was going to say Z, but anyway. Wonder if he's listening in today.
Funny story. They Dan Calder holding a tournament this weekend. They contacted me a couple of weeks ago. Said, "Can we invite you and your family down? We'll put you up and you can do some commentary." But I'm away this coming weekend. I said, "I'm really sorry, boys, I can't." I said, "Do you know anyone else?" So I put them onto about 3 other people. I find out about 2 weeks later, none of them 3 I put them onto could do, and they've ended up with Matty O. So he was way down the list, but he's heading down to Dunkeld to do some commentary the weekend. So I might tune in at some point and just give him some lip. Kevin Teasdale. Josh. Oh, he's got it. What a bowl.
Yes.
He's on form. What a ripper. And he draws applause from Terry as well.
And he even pushed it to the angle where the white's flopped out and the grey's nearly counting. Rowdy. No, we're not.
Not yet.
Not yet. Some would argue we banter like a married couple.
I obviously wear the pants in this relationship.
Well, you're allowed to, both parties allowed to wear pants now, Jimmy, you know, so come on. Got to be right.
Right, Ethan, he's got some work to do here. He can use them bowls of Terry. He's trying to get into them, hence why he's probably come the backhand. He's wide though, JT. You focus on the bowls, Rowdy.
I wouldn't be listening to Matty O.
Right, Kevin, who played a ripper with his first. He's played some very big bowls in this game. You said he can play, Josh. I've been very impressed with him. Not with Lindsay's camera.
No, he's standing
He's
right in the middle again.
He can't be any more in the way. But what I'll tell you, and you'll soon see, is Kevin's repeated the dose. He's drawn. What he did was he drew in off, just clipped them 2 bowls of Terry's on the right side of the camera as we look at it, and he just fell in for another shot.
Do you think there's a sneaky chance this game might, you know, if he misses here, I mean...
Well, he's close.
He needs it.
He
Doesn't want the little clip.
Oh, no, Ethan. That's stiff.
He's stiff on that bowl. But...
Right, there's 2 coming out for Kerang.
Just saying, it's 11 shots. If they happen to be 4 or 5 here, I'm not sure, not saying it is, but all of a sudden the game gets interesting with a couple ends to go. We have one finished game at the back. Wangaratta from the Ovens and Murray has defeated Portland from West Coast 44-35.
So they get Wangaratta off the board. Yeah. Only 2. I say only 2. 2 great bowls. Now, look, it's the first time I've actually watched Kevin myself, but I've been very impressed with his game. There's a few of you out there who probably expected it by the sounds of it.
Wayne Gardner, a Murray Mallee legend, won numerous titles in his granddaughter Emma Simmons.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So she has been in the Victorian Ladies State side. I'm sure those sides will be announced soon too.
Yeah, correct. I think there's a selection meeting today, JT.
I'm sure she'll figure.
So 16-6 the way of Kerang on this rink. I think you're not far off, Josh. If Som Pascoe can fashion a couple here, brings this overall back to 7. Kevin Teasdale's rink have picked up 5, 7, 8, 12 shots in a row. It's on. So don't go anywhere, because depending on what happens next door, it could force us into a bit of a barnstorming finish. I think Kerang are holding next door.
No, Gisborne are holding with the blue bowl, but I reckon the Kerang bowl is definitely second shot, and it's something that Som could use to potentially get shot. And she loves giving it a crack. She won't die wondering.
And Big Baz just launches one in the pit there.
This is her last bowl.
But you know what? I think Kerang are sensing this as well, because I can see Kevin talking to Som over there.
Yep.
He's sort of saying,
"You need shot."
Yeah, I need you to help me out here, Som. Give me 1 or 2 to play with, and I'll do the rest. So Walker jumping on there. Som's riding this bowl, JT.
She's not far away.
Oh, she
needed
goes
the
close.
shimmy off.
But whatever, she's only 1 down, so they are.
Yep.
She's close. They've got a small whiff here, is how I'll describe it. They've got 17 minutes left in this game. They'll be finished next door as well. We think it's just the one Gisborne so far. Alan Higgins trying to draw in for another. Going to go close, but no cigar.
So
just the one at Gisborne. So they'll make the overall 10. And we've got 2 to
10?
play.
Wouldn't it be 7?
No, it's 1 to,
Yeah.
1 to Gisborne.
It's only 6 of difference at the moment.
Overall,
Yeah.
it's 41-32.
Not according to the overall.
Mate, you don't listen to that one. Unless I've missed something. 16-6.
It's 17-11 on that score. And you've got
they haven't
16-8.
updated. Yeah, well, there's 2 ends to go on then. Sorry, I'm going off our score.
Come on, mate.
Well, this is close then.
Yeah,
We're
I
real
told
close.
you. It's 7 the difference with 2 to play. And the way Kevin Teasdale's been bowling, and I reckon they're a sneaky chance.
Well, he's only got 4 bowls left.
Oh, there's 4 of the 7.
Correct. Right, so they are finished next door on that Higgins Pascoe rink. There's 2 ends to go on, so they've finished 17-11.
Scores at the back. Hilltop, Tatura Hilltop 60, Horsham City 25, 3 ends ago. City of Geelong 54, Bundoora 43. So 11 the difference with 1 end to go. That game is gone for Bundoora. And Eagle Hawk is 47 and Traralgon is 34. And that's on 41 ends. So looking like an Eagle Hawk victory there.
Yeah, Lakes are 36-27 up against Karingal, so looking like a Lakes victory there after 41 ends. We've got 7 the difference here with 2 to play. So a bit of work to do for Kerang, but they've kind of come from nowhere to come back into this one. They were 20 down at one stage.
I love the fight. I love the fight.
Yeah, they've sort of edged away, and a lot of it's come from this rink, but some next door's picked a fear. You also can't rule out the contribution from the far rink, Josh.
Oh, they were 15-0 down.
And they've outscored them 8-3 after 8-4 after that.
Yeah.
So they've chipped in as well. I'm going to have to go and do a bit of an announcement in 5 minutes that they've got 10 minutes to go. As City of Geelong lead Bundoora 54-33 last end. So that one is done, Josh. They cannot.
I said that about
Ripper.
a minute
Sorry.
ago.
Mate, I was trying to add scores. I'm also desperate for the toilet, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll do my announcement and I'll be back.
Chances here for Kerang. Holding shot. They got a couple in the head. I'd love to, not showing my Murray Mallee bias here, but I'd love to see him get a couple here, 2 or 3 here. Give him a sneaky chance going the last end. Lindsay's played a very nice bowl there. It's sort of just behind and probably counting as well. Terry Kelly, he's looking probably just to cut it back. He needs, another one in the head, something to work with. They get one themselves, the game's basically over. Limit it to 1 down, and they're going to be 6 in front playing the last end. He's got a chance to push his own over in for shot. Lindsay basically just needs to correct on his last bowl. If he beats it, he's going to go very close to getting shot. As a magpie flies across the screen, and yes, that isn't a kangaroo. It is a magpie.
You're going to be careful here, mate. There's a magpie on the green. There's a magpie on the green.
I did get it right.
Oh, I've got to go make this announcement. I only came back just to
Yeah,
do some jip about that kangaroo.
Thought that's where it's coming from. So, we've seen some scintillating shots from Kevin Teasdale over the last 6 or 7 ends. There's chances here for him. As I said, they probably need 3 at a minimum to give themselves a chance on the last end. but the way he's been playing this game, he's the man more than capable of doing it. Could be a chance where he might look for the orange bowl. I don't know whether he's going to play that shot early on. He's playing backhand by looks of things. He also might look at trying to trail the jack around the corner, which might make 3. So let's see. Needs to get down off the white. Well, that's shot and a bit of jack movement. And actually gives them a good chance for the next one. What a bowl. Kevin Teasdale. So Ethan really needs another one in the head here because the orange bowl of theirs, which is probably sitting around second or third shot at the moment, is on its Pat Malone. And if it happened to be taken out, I reckon Kerang would have 4 or 5. So he really needs another second. Although he's playing with weight, looking for shot. Interesting decision. Interesting the calls to draw another, but I mean, I think that orange bowl's worth something. Ethan's tight. Last thing he wants to do is turn another one into the head. It's only one though. That probably, as I said, that's probably made it really, really hard for Kerang. I said I reckon the shot would have been to play the orange bowl out, and that could have been worth 4 or 5. So it is 6 the difference with an end of play. It is 6 the difference in the game between Eagle Hawk and Traralgon, and they're playing their last 10. So they're in the same scenario as this live stream match here. Great cracking lead bowl here. Well, if they're going to get 6, there's one of them. Russell Walker's led exceptionally well in this match. Oh, there's another one. It's behind. Chances. Expect Russell Walker to correct. He's been, as I said, been leading really well this match. On the matches next door, there's Well, there's only a couple ends remaining in the Lakes Entrance Kringle, and Lakes Entrance is currently 4 up with 2 to play according to the scoreboard. As Russell Walker puts in a good lead bowl, gets second shot.
Sounds like room for a cracker next up, mate. City of Geelong v Tatura. I just spoke to all the Bundy guys. I reckon City of Geelong were on heat.
Yeah, right.
Just on one that end then.
Yeah, funny enough, I reckon Kerang had a chance to make a number, and well, the way the head was called, they didn't call it like they could have got the number,
Okay.
you know, and so it was a bit unfortunate, and I got the one, so it's awfully tough, and even, ooh.
What the hell's happened next door, JT? Lakes Entrance 36, Kringle 34.
So
That's
it's
come
even
from
got,
nowhere.
Yeah, it's got closer again. I just gave a score update 30 seconds ago, and it was for the difference, so.
Kringle don't do things by half. They only seem to be involved in humdingers. Traralgon, I reckon's 39-35. You don't reckon it's updated? Shot by Chelsea there.
I think it's 39-33.
Yeah, okay. Last end though.
Yes, he's definitely last in.
Where's me bell? Back over there, I think. Yep.
Ian Ball. He doesn't look too far away.
Oh, Josh.
Yeah, that's a great bowl.
Good crowd watching now. Everyone's come off for lunch. Right, let's see a scoreboard update next door. Don't know who picked up what on the last but one end in that Kringle Lakes game.
It's one the difference now over there next door with one end to play.
Ooh. They have come from the clouds, Kringle.
Yeah, Lindsay. One far away. Probably needed to be a fraction more weight, Jimmy. Making it hard now. And the only chance is a dead end.
I don't think we're going to see that somehow.
No. It's the way the head's set up. Oh, no, you could get it on the forehand.
Try and keep you abreast with the Traralgon Eaglehawk finale and also the Kringle Lakes entrance. I'll duck off in about a minute and go ring the bell.
Multitasking, Jimmy.
Oh, mate. Jack of all trades was the quizmaster last night. Good bowl by Terry
Yeah,
out.
no. Another one in the head. Sits on the back bowl, splits them up. Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better bowl in the circumstances.
I think Kringle are holding next door. David Paxman the third sends a bowl down for them. Wangaratta got up over. It's 39-36 JT next door in the Bendigo, the Eaglehawk Traralgon one.
Is that the six?
Yeah, it's
Jeez.
39-36. Last end happening currently. Right, we're going to nip off and do this belt.
Rightio. We will keep everybody abreast of what's happening in those really close finishes. Or there's hands Ash being shaken. And the Lakes entrance player has just potted the jack in the pit. I don't know how close it is to the jack in the pit. Probably looking at that, 6 to 8 inches room potentially to draw in the plinth to win the game, to draw the game for Kringle. Phil Crowder's the one skipping that rink. And according to the scoreboard on the next screen, Eagle Hawk has won that game 39 to 37. So we've still got 4 bowls remain in this rink for our live stream. As the bell's rung, so that means the time has elapsed for our limit. We won't probably have any dead ends on this rink. And we can't have any on the other green because the jack is in the pit.
Triangle went down.
Yes, I'll pass it on. Lake's entrance player. Put the jack in the pit.
Yeah, so I guess I'll try.
Ethan coming down. Drawing in, very good weight. May flop in. Kevin Teasdale has played phenomenal this game. As he's drawn shot. Ethan took out the shot pole, but then in doing so took his own bowl out. Don't know who's got shot. And he got the result he wanted, 1-2 Ethan Higgins in the Gisborne rink. And that score finishes on 17-7 after the 15 ends. We'll just stay live for a second while the Kringle Lakes Entrance match finishes up. It is a very close match. It's currently 36-35 in favour of Lakes Entrance. Lakes Entrance is holding shot with a bowl in the ditch, and I reckon the jack is about 6 to 8 inches away. Phil Crowder from Kringle has 1 bowl to come. At the most, I think he can draw the match if he draws shot. It's going to be a bloody good shot if he does. So we'll just keep you posted on that, and then once that's finished, we're finishing up this live stream. We'll be back for Game 5 or Round 5 shortly after this bowl. Just give you an update of what happens here. Because if he can pull the draw off, it changes the context of this section as well. So. Well, they're cheering it. Let's see what goes on here. He's given it a chance. Now, whether it's going to stay on or not, no. He's a little quick. So, Lakes Entrance are the winners of that rink and that end and that match. So, it's going to change the section up a little bit now. Gisborne are the only team in that section that have won 3 games now. Kerang, Traralgon, and Lakes Entrance are all, and Eagle Hawk all on 2 wins. So that section is definitely wide open. So thank you for tuning in, guys. We'll see you all shortly for Round 5, which will be Tatura Hilltop versus City of Geelong, which will be a cracking game. Cheers, guys. Thank you.